The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
On behalf of myself and Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, we would like to wish you a very happy holidays. And don't forget, Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is open 24/7 for emergency services to make sure you stay warm this holiday season. Go to standardheating.com today.
So the day to don those once-a-year wearables is here. Today is National Ugly Christmas Sweater Day. The creative holiday tradition is hotter than ever.
The intentionally ugly Christmas sweaters we wear today can trace their origins back to the original mass-produced Jingle Bell sweaters of the 1950s. No one can say for certain what reignited our fascination with the ugly Christmas sweater, but some sources trace the trend to another country, which might have had the first ever ugly Christmas sweater party in Vancouver, Canada in 2002. Little did they know that their minor tongue-in-cheek event would evolve into such a cultural phenomenon.
Ladies and gentlemen,
today is National Ugly Christmas Sweater Day.
the weekend.
Isn't that something? You get a good vibe, Josh? Do you get a good feeling out of all this whole Friday thing?
Yeah, I'm a fan.
I'll
be honest with you, yeah.
Bold take. Welcome to the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show.
Spoiler alert, yes. Yes, I enjoy it.
Welcome to the program as we sit here on our Friday. You know what? A friend of mine is going to an ugly Christmas sweater party this weekend, and I'm so disappointed in him.
Do you know what he's going to wear, or is this a secret? I've purchased a couple for folks before.
I know.
I have a couple of them.
I know. You folks are into that gimmick.
Yeah, it's cute.
It's fun. It's just whimsical.
Mine never end up being that ugly, though. They're always decently cute enough.
I have one. I was gifted one for Christmas, a Star Wars-themed ugly Christmas sweater.
Nice.
I purchased one for my youngest son that says D's Nuts with some chestnuts on there. He can only wear it at home. That's the rule.
That's a hell of a deal. This pal of mine who I'm so disappointed in because, I mean, he's one of the coolest people I know. But it's come to this. Somehow he's gone from, coolest guy in town to a willing participant in an ugly Christmas sweater party. You ask me what he's going to wear? I imagine it's the same sweater that he wore to the Wayzata Legion a couple of nights ago. It was undersized, I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm. That helps.
It was undersized. His areolas were basically on display for everyone at the bar. It was, Josh, well, tell me if this is common for you. You folks come off like ugly Christmas sweater fans. The majority of the sweater was, red and green and Christmas colors. And right smack dab on the front was a massive pink flamingo. Does that ring a bell for anybody?
I haven't seen it.
Seen that.
Does that have a funny saying on there? Or?
I think the flamingo was wearing a Santa hat. I did not see any verbiage.
Isn't the pink flamingo, is that like a sign of being a swinger?
Yes.
Yep.
So maybe that had something to do with it?
No.
Okay. At least not intentionally on his part.
Not intentionally.
This knowledge, Dana, from your parents' front lawn? The empty wine bottles at the end of the driveway?
The
Isn't that
upside-down
another
pineapples?
This is my buddy who is also very naive when it comes to certain things. I love to talk about him. Really, I do, because he can be really entertaining. Very, very naive. He made the mistake of being 100% honest with his doctor. I've told you this story before when his doctor asked him about his drinking.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh, God, that's still one of my favorite stories. Most of us, when the doctor asks us about our drinking and smoking, are we ever completely honest?
100%.
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not.
You guys aren't?
No.
Really?
No.
It depends if it's a checkup or if something's really wrong.
I mean, if I feel like I'm of course, common sense kicks in. If you feel like, oh, God, I'm minutes away from death, you're going to be completely honest with your doctor. And 9 times out of 10, it's too late at that point.
Yeah.
But that's when we're honest with our doctors, when we think we're in real trouble. On an average day, hell no, you're not going to find out how much I actually drink, chew, smoke, whatever it is I'm
How come, out of curiosity? Just for the shame?
They're going to yell at me?
Oh, yeah.
Really? That's it?
Oh, they guilt you bad.
No, I understand, but that's
okay.
why you wouldn't be honest instead of just like not risking anything?
I don't really have a reason why I'm not completely honest. I guess just because I'm afraid they're going to keep me there longer than I want to be. That is all I can come up with. It's stupid, I know. I should be honest, but I'm not. But anyway.
I mean, because you can really just do whatever you want with that information. They can say, hey, you got this or that, or you're going to risk this or that. You can say, cool, and you can take off. That's pretty much it.
I don't have a real reason. Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's stupid, but I very rarely tell them the complete truth, unless I feel like I'm in real trouble. But my pal, this was just an all-timer, just completely naive. And the doctor asks him, this is probably 15 years ago, do you drink? And he says, well, yeah. Well, how much do you drink? And he's a beer drinker, this guy. The doctor asks him, how much do you drink? And he says, what do you mean, like in a week? And the doctor says, yeah. You drink beer? How many beers do you have in a week? And my buddy said, I'd say about 40. And the doctor said, because the doctors aren't used to hearing that kind of thing. Yeah. The doctor says, 40? And my buddy still doesn't read what's happening. So now he breaks it down. He says, well, yeah, I probably have 14 beers on a Friday night. And then Saturday I probably have, about 10 or 11. And then, sprinkled out the rest of the week. He actually broke it down, did the arithmetic, totally unaware of the hole he was digging for himself. But I love that about him. One of my favorite guys and favorite stories.
I wish I could remember the name of the comedian I watched recently, but he was talking about this exact subject. He said the doctor asked, he goes, how many drinks do you have a day? And he responded, oh, you mean like on the way here today? Or
yeah, I hear you. Ugly Christmas sweater parties going on all over the place this weekend. Today's some kind of a day for ugly Christmas sweaters. Is that what the intro said?
Yeah, ugly Christmas sweater day, I guess. You got one, wear one, they say.
Well, I'll tell you this much. I do not enjoy the sight of an ugly Christmas sweater. I don't like that gimmick at all. But it's way better than a clown party complete with a clown party bus.
That is ridiculous.
An ugly Christmas sweater party's way better than a clown party complete with a clown party bus. You don't need to hear that story again.
Well, the Christmas party has a theme and a reason. Christmas is coming up, but in the case of the story you've told before...
Yeah, no reason.
There's just no reason to dress as... Nobody would say, oh, yeah, it's National Clown Day, which everybody celebrates. We get why they're dressed up like that.
You're absolutely right.
I will say about the sweater parties is I did enjoy them more before all the sweaters were so brand new. I liked when you had to go to your great aunt Matilda's closet and get some sweater that she actually unironically wore back in the day. Those were fun ones.
You're old school.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I like the ones with the sayings on them.
Do you? Yeah. Like the naughty ones? Didn't you get your friend Barry, the legendary Barry, well-endowed Barry Christmas sweater?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice one.
That's a good one.
I did.
Yeah, you got me an Orange Cassidy one that said, Merry whatever. And then I also have another one that's Ric Flair. It lights up and it has all the sayings.
Yeah, the light-up ones.
Those are big now.
That's extra. Mm-hmm. Never had one of those.
Yeah, you can't wash it.
They have some that have little pockets for beer. You can put your stuff in there.
I have one of those.
You do?
Yeah, it has one it's a pocket in the middle of the chest.
Oh.
It's like a sloth.
I think I'm following this.
Yeah.
That's the end of the story?
Yeah.
It's like a sloth?
Yeah, that's about it.
Sloths are in great danger in your house.
I don't really know what the point of it is, but yeah.
Well, that's the point. I think the point of most ugly Christmas sweaters is to be as obscure as possible.
Yeah,
right?
True, yeah.
So there you go. Generally, I'm not a big fan of effing themes for events, but that's just how I was brought up. This, I'm sure, is a big weekend for Christmas parties. Anybody signed up for one?
No.
Nothing, huh?
No, not this week.
Not even you young people?
I got invited to one tonight, but I don't know yet. It's too early to say.
Wait, it's tonight. Why is it too early to say?
Because I don't know how sleepy I'm going to be today.
I can relate to sleepy. I can.
Had a long week.
I hear you. Man, I'm surprised though that you young folks over there in the other room. I mean, when I was your age, we used to just blow the doors off of town. Come this time of year, there were multiple big Christmas keggers and bashes like that.
No, I'm just excited to do nothing this weekend.
Oh, ain't that the truth?
That's the best kind of weekend.
Kind of the calm before the holiday storm when things really pick up.
I feel like I've been doing something every single weekend up until this point, and now I can just sit. It's going to be sweet.
You just want to sit.
Yeah, I just want to sit and watch the Vikings game.
Just for a goof, I was looking up some other theme parties. Okay, so my buddy's going to this ugly Christmas sweater party this weekend. Well, one of these sounds like it'll just get you killed. I'll get to that one in a minute. And this does sound like a young person's game. Anyone ever been to an ABC party?
I have not.
Anyone know what ABC stands for when it comes in this context? Anything but clothes.
Oh, yes, I have been to those.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're wearing things, but it's not actual clothing.
Yeah, those are fun.
Yeah.
I hadn't been to one of those. People show up wearing trash bags, duct tape, whipped cream.
Beer cases.
Body paint.
Yeah,
beer cases was a big one. Yeah.
They say it's messy and kind of awkward. No, I haven't been to one of those
There's
yet.
always some accidental nudity. You can count on that. Something's going to slip. Something's going to fall. Something's going to get ripped.
Jesus, you want to hear something just frightening as hell? The other theme party that I bumped into when just looking around the internet, and it sounds like this is a favorite amongst college kids, blackout or get out. Party guests are immediately required to down 10 beers or 10 shots before gaining entrance to the party.
Okay, that's dangerous.
That sounds like a good way to get alcohol poisoning.
You're just going to drop dead.
Even for college kids, that's a little much.
Jesus, again, I'll go right back to that clown bus party. I will, before I sign up for some of this stuff. Damn.
There's a website called collegepartyguru.com, and they talk about some of these different college parties, something like you do here, and then they give you advice on how to survive one of them. And just some things like what to wear. Don't wear anything you can easily trip over at one of these blackout parties, or something that you'll cherish because you're probably going to lose it. You'll be so drunk.
Sick. Damn,
Like
man.
they tell women, don't wear heels. Nothing that can
Never wear heels.
just
give you
shatter
an
an
easy
ankle.
fall.
Yeah. Just completely tear your ankle loose on a set of stairs.
A couple that I remember from St. Cloud, and these aren't like native or created by the kids at St. Cloud, but there's the corporate hoes and CEOs parties where the guys wear a suit and the girls would dress like naughty secretaries.
Ooh.
And then there was the...
Boy, I don't know if it'd be worth it. I hate wearing a suit. I mean, the naughty secretary thing sounds pretty cool, I'll be honest, but I don't know if that's worth it to me.
How uncomfortable would you be all night long wearing a suit?
Well, I'm
totally
miserable.
Yes.
And it's so hot in here.
Oh, the heat.
Oh, I would do it in a heartbeat.
You like the sexy secretaries?
Oh, yes. Yes.
What was the other one you remember?
the other one I remember was these ones. I think bars do these still maybe, but the red light, green light ones, where if you're in a relationship, you wear a red shirt. If you're single, you wear something green. If it's kind of a gray area, you wear a yellow shirt to the party. And that's how you can just immediately tell if somebody's down to hook up or if they're in a relationship.
I never liked those ones because I never wanted to wear a red shirt. I was like, I don't want to call that attention to that.
Well, that's why you wear the yellow. Yeah, there's a little intrigue there.
Yeah,
you know?
until I run into one of my boyfriend's friends at a party and I'm like, I'm busted.
What if you just kind of bring a green and a red one and feel it out once you get there?
That's a good
Have
idea.
a reversible shirt.
You see the girl, you like walk in, you immediately flip it over to green.
Oh, I didn't know she was going to be here.
I'll tell you, I mean, I'm not much for themes. I mean, especially like the one that's based on your relationship status. I just get instantly aggravated. I don't know what it was in my upbringing, but I just get... But there was a bar years ago that I used to gig at, Povs in Andover. You guys have heard me talk about that joint many times.
Yep.
I had a riot at that place. I was still a fairly young man. Every Halloween, I think it was around Halloween, they had a pimp and hoe ball, and it was a riot.
That does sound fun.
It was a riot. So maybe I can talk my buddy out of this ugly Christmas sweater party before he goes, but when I saw him on Wednesday night, he sounded pretty pumped about it.
What's his relationship status?
Married with multiple children.
Oh, okay. So he is going just for the fun of it, not to possibly hook up.
That's why he's going out.
Right. That's why I'm so disappointed in him. What are you going to do? What else is going on around here as we approach Christmas? Are we getting a holiday bonus around here?
I'm going to say no. You know, we used to get holiday gifts. I don't know that we've ever gotten a holiday bonus.
I'm so jealous of when you guys got those sweet jackets.
Sweet jackets?
Yeah, like someone used to always wear the jacket and it said 93X and it looked really nice. I was like, dude.
Yeah, they would give us nice, like, branded clothing. They've given us poker sets. I mean, this is back like when people used to spend money on advertising on radio. So, I mean, they had some cash. What else did they give us? Some ornaments. I mean, never like something where you're planning a pool like in Christmas Vacation. It was always just kind of like a nice little branded gift.
I think you covered everything that I can remember. I never paid much attention to such things, but I think you covered the ones that were memorable.
We got a pizza cutter.
Wow,
do you remember
that's
the
exciting.
93X branded pizza cutter?
Yes, I do.
It was the brand, the big ass pizza cutter.
I threw it in the garbage.
Oh, it was one of those huge ones?
The huge ones.
I threw it in the
That's
garbage.
sweet.
Oh.
And they had they'd cut out the 93X logo.
Oh,
Sweet.
For a few years in a row, I always got a honey baked ham gift card.
I'd be pretty pumped about that.
Yeah, not going to complain.
I like
Wasn't-
ham.
Wasn't mad about it.
Ashley, you seem so disappointed in me, but the reason I threw away the 93X pizza cutter was because I pictured maybe one night I'd be having a party, I'd throw in a couple of frozen pizzas, and I just had the thought that my friends would think I was a pretty big douchebag where I busted out my radio station pizza. Just in case you forget where I work, everybody.
That's true.
It says it on the pizza. It was just avoiding a douchey image move to throw that into the garbage.
That's kind of how I felt about some of the branded stuff, too.
The coats. There were a couple of jackets we got here. You're right. I mean, good memory. A couple of the jackets that we got here as gifts, as Christmas bonuses, that were good looking, and I wore them around. But there were others that were just a little too gaudy.
Yeah. But there was a couple that were really cool. There's one, as a matter of fact, I like so much, I bought just the plain version, so I didn't feel like a douchebag wearing it around.
Big old Carhartt type of thing, right?
It was not that one. That one was cool, too. It was like a I don't know how to, a bomber jacket, but not like leather, not that kind. It was just kind of like a regular jacket material.
Okay.
That just was a really cool jacket.
I know what you're talking about. There was one that I wore around, and this was very hip in the mid-'90s, this look, like the gas station jacket.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know the style I'm talking about?
Yep.
And the reason
like
why...
a mechanic coat.
Exactly.
That's right, exactly.
The reason why that one I was okay wearing everywheres was because there was just a tiny little patch on the chest that said 93X, as opposed to the ones where it was the entire back of the jacket was. And it's not as if I wasn't proud of what I was doing for a living. It just sometimes I think people assume that you're, waving a flag. Hey, look at me.
Yeah, look at me.
Ask me about my job.
I did right, and I did not want that. The little gas station jacket was cool.
It's kind of like when you see bands wearing their own T-shirts. Sometimes you're like, oh, come on. I mean, some guys not so much, but there's some bands you're like, come on, man.
Yeah.
But at least
Hey, are you in this band?
At least you guys didn't have to buy your gear. It's like, people come up to me at gigs and they're like, why don't you wear any 93X clothing? And it's like, because I can only buy it at the state fair. It's not like I get it for free.
That is true.
And it's, so at least you could wear the coat and, you didn't buy it.
That is kind of funny. It's like, hey, Wapple, we made a shot glass with your face on it. Only $10.
Yeah.
You got to buy your own.
Crazy.
Text us if you have an interesting Christmas bonus or have had an interesting Christmas bonus. Because I know there's some joints companies out there that come up with cute stuff. If you want to just email and what's the word again?
Text.
If you want to just text and say, they gave me $20,000, go ahead. But I'm looking for something cute, something interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think
Sorry, Wapple. 651-989-9393 if you want to tell us about your interesting Christmas bonus now, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, doesn't matter.
Do you think it costs a lot of money to get like pickleball paddles Like
oh, yeah.
customized.
Absolutely.
I'm sure it does. Yeah, I wouldn't know the price range, but yeah.
I mean, shoot.
That would be a cool gift, like if the company gave you a pickleball paddle with maybe their logo.
Or how about like an S&M paddle for Ashley?
She's already got one. Yeah. It disappoints me.
But yeah, but if you could get one personalized by the radio station, and when you're punishing your victims, you leave a little red 93X logo on their
That'd
ass.
be fun.
Papa! And after a few shots, the raised blistering skin spells out 93X. That would be, you take a picture of that and you put it on the internet.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
Ooh, somebody here, Porta Potty Poop Pumper Jesus got a box of steaks one year. That'd be great. Food stuff would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
My mom works for a trucking company, and
trunking company.
trucking company, and this time of year, it's kind of like an end of the year bonus. It's peak season, so it's super busy. So for all their drivers, they make sure they get lunch at least a couple days a week. They get little care packages of all their branded, a branded blanket, jackets, gloves.
That's very nice.
Yeah, I love that they do that kind of stuff.
Your mother works for a trucking company.
Yep.
And my dad was an over-the-road truck driver. You think maybe they dangled at one point or another?
They did. She's done it for a very long time.
Dangled?
Naughty insurance agent Jesus said
maybe we are related.
His bonus is a subscription to the Jelly of the Month Club.
Oh, no. Boy, if that isn't the biggest knee in the bag, sack to the head.
I saw a guy lose it over that once.
You got to worry about choosing a jelly every month.
I love that when he rolled. I think I was close there, wasn't I, Cubby? I love that when he's rolling through how insulted he. I haven't watched Christmas Vacation in a number of years, but when he's rolling through how pissed off he is about his stupid Jelly of the Month Club bonus, that's pretty funny stuff. Ah, man. There you go.
A lot of branded stuff people are getting, something with their company logo on it.
Ah, sure. Sure.
Yeah, there's some companies that go all out. I wonder how much that's changed since the pandemic, and finances are quite the same. But back in the day, Wapple, yeah, they hooked us up with some nice stuff.
We had a couple decent things, wasn't.
And I actually appreciate the Christmas parties we have now, aside from this last one being too loud. It's more fun, kind of laid back. It's just like regular folks, right? Potluck type of thing. Mm-hmm. But back in the day, they were super fancy Christmas parties. You had to dress up.
See, I would want to go to at least one. I would probably be annoyed, but I'd want to go to at least one.
I love an excuse to dress up and eat a fancy dinner and stuff like that.
What would you be annoyed by?
Actually doing it, I would love to go one time, but I would probably hate it.
To a Christmas party, you mean?
Like
a fancy one.
Really nice one.
A fancy one.
You guys used to have back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah, they went all out, man.
Yeah, wasn't it suit and tie and everything too?
Not suit and tie, but you had to be dressed a little more than business casual.
Oh, boy, I don't remember those.
You didn't go to any of them.
Oh, well, there you go. Had to be dressed? Really? You had to be semi-dressed up?
Yeah.
Oh, no wonder I skipped those friggin' things.
Well, you hate. Well, I'm trying to think of a general manager you've liked. Well, you like the one we have now. So
it was about the bosses?
It was the one you probably hated the most.
Okay.
Yeah. The lady.
I wanted nothing to do with any social mixing with some of those people.
No, not at all.
Not at all. I wanted them to leave, and then they did.
I danced at one.
So evil.
Danced, I tell you.
You did not dance.
I did.
What'd you do, the cha-cha
with the
slide
front
or
desk
something?
lady back in the day.
Oh, the one
That's where we started our romance.
Wow.
She wasn't crazy. She was perfect for him. Don't ever label her crazy.
Well, I'm saying in bed.
That's personal, Wapple. Did she want me to pull her hair? Yes. Could I do it? No.
So sweet.
I can't do that.
Gosh, she picked the wrong dude.
I know. I thought once she brought that up,
I would have snatched every hair out of her skull if she wanted me to. You know what I mean?
She also wanted to be slammed against a wall. I couldn't do any of that kind of stuff.
That's my speed right there. At least when we were young, that was my.
Well, I knew I was. It's one of those things where I knew I was in a situation where something great was bestowed upon me, and I didn't appreciate it like somebody else would. And sometimes I feel that way when we complain about these trips we used to have to go on, because I know for some people, they would love to go on a vacation like that.
Me and Ashley would love that.
Oh, my gosh, yeah, we've talked about it before. Yeah, that would be so sweet.
Well, and I do kind of feel like a douchebag sometimes, seeming as if I appreciate the gesture and all that stuff. I would happily give it to one of you guys because I know that means something to you.
Yeah.
That's like the only time I could travel.
Hey, boy, we sent you out to Hollywood.
Yeah,
that's
that was
what I'm
so
saying.
cool.
Is like work stuff is like the only time I seem to be able to really travel places.
Do cool stuff, yeah.
Well, the moral of the story is I wasn't able to accept the gift she was giving me, and I would have re-gifted it to one of you if that would have been appropriate.
I know you would have.
Because I know
so
you would have.
sweet of you.
I felt guilty, like, geez, I should really be appreciating this.
Poor Josh is in over his head.
I'm sorry I can't cause you physical pain.
There you go.
But you know what? I've got a buddy I could call right now.
Yeah, she wouldn't have had an interest in me. I don't know why. I can't imagine why someone wouldn't be interested in me. Today, beginning at 7:30, we got a lot to cover. What are we going to do? A conversation with Vikings long snapper Andrew DePaola. They got a ball game the Vikings do tomorrow afternoon.
I'm excited for that. I love that there's going to be football on Saturday.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm happy for you. We'll pull a listener on to the live radio for some predictions on that ball game. We call it the Purple Pick'em segment. See if we can make some money for the poor bastard.
I'm curious
somehow
to know.
that 3-0 final didn't win anyone any money last week during Purple Pick'em.
Yeah, I'm curious to know if this week's guest will at least consider just a scoreless halftime score. I mean, nobody's ever picked that.
That'd be
before.
great.
That would be funny.
My girlfriend brought that up. She was like, what if someone actually picked 0-0 and then Nick just ripped them a new one and then all of a sudden they were right?
Well, then I'd apologize.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you never would expect it to be 0-0 at halftime.
Who would? Like, you guys wouldn't be making fun of someone as well who picked the final of zeros. Dad Fights part 100 plus 51 also sometime after 7:30 this morning. You all set for this, Cubby?
I'm ready to go.
Let's take a little break, Steve.
I mean, home.
You want to get out of here
I'm
completely?
ready to go home.
I've had enough of this. We'll be back in a
See
few
you guys
minutes
on Monday.
on the program.
Half-assed morning show. They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act. They're a nuisance. 93X.
Grace here, customer service rep at Standard Heating. I'm proud to work for a company that understands and takes care of our fellow Minnesotans. Our weather here can be a little unpredictable and even extreme. That's why we've been here for 93 years and counting, to keep our community safe and comfortable.
On behalf of myself and Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, we would like to wish you a very happy holidays. And don't forget, Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is open 24/7 for emergency services to make sure you stay warm this holiday season. Go to standardheating.com today.
Stacking Benjamins with Joe and his good friend OG not only has great financial insight, it's laid back with humor too.
Joe talks with Stacking Deeds co-host Crystal Hammond.
I've always been a fan of nosy neighbors. I want nosy neighbors. They can tell you what's going on 10 times faster than you would know.
Again, what's she talking about, Doug?
Really?
We're repairing neighborhoods, but then we're into nosy neighbors, and I built a career off of that.
Find out more by searching the Stacking Benjamins podcast, wherever you listen.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Here we effing go. Here we go with our final stupid news report for the week. It's been a good run. And we're starting off here with something. This is fun, right? Well, but at the same time, not fun. In Memphis, Tennessee, 4 women who work at a bar called Mugshots beat the living hell out of a female coworker at Mugshots, and then all 4 of them got their mugshots taken at the local jail.
Not too bad looking, I must say.
I'm telling you right now, Cubby. I'm with you.
There's a couple of them that could easily be models.
These 4
despite
gals
having quite the temper.
These 4 gals should be terribly ashamed of themselves for what they've done. But I can't help but say that the 4 gals that dished out the beating, all very attractive ladies. What are the odds of that? Usually there's one bulldog in the bunch.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Not here. Not here. But I'm not backing what they've done. Just letting you in on that. Cubby and I, right away, we saw something in these women.
You see the article and you're like, these chicks are terrible. Well, wait a minute. Once you see the mugshot.
Maybe they had a reason.
They could use a second chance.
So the female bar manager at Mugshots, this is how this all played out. The female bar manager at Mugshots, along with 3 other female employees, were arrested for allegedly beating up a waitress this past Sunday.
That's my favorite type of fair fight, 4-on-1.
Exactly. The waitress, who got tuned up, she says it all started because she talked to her manager's ex-boyfriend, and things went sideways when the manager caught wind of that. One of those types of people, right? What are you doing talking to my ex? You know, how effing stupid. So this poor gal who dared to talk to her manager's ex-boyfriend, she was punched in the face numerous times. She was stomped on. She was kicked while she was on the ground. And like Josh was saying, that's how you know how tough you are these days. When you and 3 friends can beat the hell out of one person. That's how you prove how tough you are.
My favorite are the people that have the determination and the courage to wait until someone's on the ground almost unconscious and then get in there and kick them.
Oh, yeah. That's how.
When did this become like okay? I mean, back in the day, you'd be shamed by your friends if you jumped in on a fight late like that.
I'd say about 20, 25 years ago, Josh.
Because, I mean, like our parents' and grandparents' generation, that wouldn't happen.
No.
That's just, there's a code.
Maybe 20 years ago, it became almost acceptable for where if Josh got in a fight with somebody, you know, and we're all on Josh's side, obviously. If Josh got in a fight with somebody and Josh knocked the guy on the ground, then we all jump in.
Yeah.
Then we all jump in and we kick them and we stomp them.
Well, I mean, can you imagine if your group of friends did that back in the day? It'd be the same in mine. You'd be looking at your friends like, what the hell are you doing?
Absolutely.
The guy's on the ground. I mean,
Absolutely.
what more do you need?
Nope. Never, ever happened. Never even came close to happening when we were young and getting into all kinds of fist fights. Not a chance in hell. But now it's... So anyway, we don't need to. The waitress...
By the way, I just want to say I appreciate that I knocked the guy down on the ground. Thank you very much.
Of course he did. Look at your calves.
I could give him a swift kick. I just can't get that high. You know, I don't have the flexibility.
If you lay on your back and just kick your legs up in the air, you'll probably kick a little bit higher.
You think that's how I do it? Yeah. Well, I'll be on my back soon enough. But that didn't sound right.
Josh is fighting like a cat.
I'm not going to isolate that because it would be me playing it, and I'm not going to do that to myself.
The waitress lost consciousness, got 2 black eyes. She was all bruised up, all cut up, but she'll be okay. So the 4 women from Mugshots were all charged with aggravated assault. They all got their mugshots taken. And as we mentioned, they're all very pretty. The final twist to the story is that this ridiculous attack happened while the bar was celebrating its last day in business before closing permanently. That's given the town something to remember them by.
Yeah.
That sucks. Absolutely sucks.
I mean, you have the phrase kicking them when they're down because it's not right.
Right. Exactly. That's a negative statement right there, kicking them when they're down.
Now, if you say that to a young person, they might be like, I don't get it. What's the context?
Or they just say, what? Where? Who do I kick? Where?
Yes, that is status quo.
All right, don't set one of your shoes on fire.
Pardon?
The next sumbitch we're going to cover here in our stupid news segment, he set one of his own shoes on fire in a town called Lady Lake, stupid ass, Florida. They had to put a player in jail down there, a 38-year-old guy called Michael Dubberly. It says here he was arrested and charged with disorderly intoxication and recreational fires. So here's the deal. Michael he got ass drunk the other night. And he passed the F out in front of a real estate office. But before his lights went out, he started to get cold. So he took off one of his shoes and set it on fire. So he could warm himself in front of the glow and the pleasant smell of burning leather and rubber.
Yum.
Cops showed up, and there's old peckerhead Michael. He's out cold with a burning shoe there in front of him. And the fire was burning just a few feet away from the real estate office that I was telling you about. So, that's going to be trouble. He had a few cans of beer there next to him as he was enjoying his little nappy nap. When the cops woke him up, he said, "Mom, I've got my retainer in." No, I'm kidding. That's a line from 16 Candles. When the cops woke him up, he said he only had one Mike's Hard Lemonade tall boy. Well, that wasn't a true story he was telling there.
I can imagine not.
So he gone.
Yeah, usually it's just I had a couple.
I had a couple,
I
is
had
what they
two
say.
beers. That must have just smelled awful. That burning shoe?
Yes.
Set his shoe on fire.
That'll give you a headache.
Now, speaking of drinking, this might be some kind of a county record or something. A dude in Massachusetts picked up a drunk driving charge, and when the local cops took a look inside this dickhead's car, he had a grand total of 62 nip bottles in the vehicle. And now, what
That'll
I believe,
do the job.
Oh yeah, what I believe a nip bottle to be, I believe it to be like that of an airplane bottle of hooch.
Yeah,
just
or
a
hotel or something.
There you go, hotel
Mini
too.
bar bottles.
Just a little feller. That's what I believe it to be. Maybe there's people in our audience who have a different idea.
Well, that's what the pictures were.
Always, I didn't see the pictures.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's one for you.
Wow. Oh, yeah. 62 of them. Is that what they directly pulled out of his car, the picture you're showing me?
Yep.
It's all Fireball.
It's all Fireball.
Oh,
well, it's not all, it's mostly Fireball. There's some other stuff.
Oh.
What did one listener call that once? Bitch whiskey?
Yes, that's right. Bitch whiskey. There's some Smirnoff in there for you.
It doesn't get better.
They've got a couple. Looks like there's a couple varieties of Fireball he's got here.
Oh, and you didn't even get to all of the Fireballs. There's still some in there.
He had 62 of them. Okay, in the picture, Josh, because I wasn't aware that there were pictures. What would you say the percentage is as far as empty and full of all these 62 bottles he has? About half and half?
Oh, maybe a little more than half.
Yeah, more than half.
Yeah,
Which
probably a
way?
lot more than half. I'm sorry, yes, empty.
Oh, more than half of them were empty.
Yeah.
Man. Now, Dinkus challenged the cops to a fist fight when they pulled him over. He's also a tough guy. The cops are giving all the credit here to witnesses who noticed that this dildo was driving like a maniac, and they called his ass in. They're giving all the credit to the folks who made this phone call, basically saying we probably never would have known this guy was running around town so gooned. That's a lot of bottles of hooch.
42 of them appear to be empty.
That's not good. All right, here's one for you older folks. The older folks in our listening audience. I know I don't have to tell you this, but once you get up to about 40 years old and beyond, it's pretty easy to hurt yourself. You'll notice that there are a lot of physical things you used to do quite easily that now become a risk to your well-being. Sex is one of those physical activities. Sure, you used to be able to fold yourself in half and pump away from all different angles, but now Things like rapid position changes might just kill you dead.
For me, it's the dismount that always worries me.
Oh.
I've been injured on the dismount before.
Dismount?
Yeah, you can pull
Crawling.
something trying to crawl over somebody. Or
Once you're done, when you're crawling off of the wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's difficult just to get yourself up and out of bed, isn't it? Or,
I mean,
off the couch, wherever you're doing it.
Maybe there should be some pre-session stretching. I mean, because you got what, a minute and a half, 2 minutes of exercise.
Right.
You're all done. And yeah, that dismount scares me every time. To
I
the
heard
point
my-
where my wife has said, be careful. Be careful now.
I heard my boyfriend's knees crack the other day, and I was like, oh, gosh, what is that?
How
that
far
doesn't sound good.
Behind his head were you bending his legs?
Wait till that little peckerhead hits about 40, if you haven't already devoured him and spit him into the trash at that point. In today's Stupid News segment, we got a 40-year-old gal here in the United Kingdom. She had a sexual encounter that was too much for her borderline over-the-hill carcass. She ended up in the emergency room. She did. The story says she's a truck driver and a television star, which is an interesting mix. She goes by the name of Haley O'Burns.
Maybe she's an ice road trucker.
I used to watch that show.
Yeah.
Is that still on?
Good.
I don't know.
No, it's not Ice Road Truckers. I watched a couple episodes of that, sure.
Man, that looks scary, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
They get in some precarious situations for sure.
Apparently, she's on a television show over there again. Did I mention this was a United Kingdom thing? I can't remember. Yes, I did. She's apparently on a television show over there in the United Kingdom called Motorway, Hell on the Highway. So I imagine this story was probably thought of a good way to promote the program. So anyway, this Haley was on a second date with a guy who she met him on that TikTok setup. The two of them went out of town summers, and they booked a hotel room. So things were going well. They were tossing down drinks, probably talking about the 90s. You know, she's 40. Before too long, they upped and headed back for the hotel, where she attacked this poor bastard like an animal. She's very aggressive in the sack. She said, I went a bit too hard on him and folded him like a pretzel, and I threw my back out in the process. I was just throwing him around the bedroom, she said. I was putting him in various positions, and I felt my back twinge. Next thing you know, she was completely frozen and she couldn't move. She just pulled everything loose, and her back locked up on her. I'm sure there are many people who can relate in our listening audience right now. Soon enough, the real pain kicked in for this Haley gal. She was in absolute agony, and she said she's sure that people could hear her screaming in pain in the other rooms at the hotel.
Oh, that's never good.
That's not the type of screaming you want people to hear in situations like that.
No.
You know, maybe girls just don't talk about it as much, but I've never heard of a girl experience something like this. I've definitely got buddies, and I've heard guys talk about this quite a bit, like they pulled something or something snapped.
Cramps.
Yeah.
It's a good point. I guess I've never really heard any women talk about it either.
And here's why. I think 8 times out of 10 in a heterosexual matchup, the dudes are the ones trying to prove something.
That's,
Oh,
very
yeah.
true.
I think that starts, in high school, before
Yes.
you're actually having sex, but pretending you are.
Right.
Trying to be
Starts
macho.
then.
We're out to prove that we can just pinball back and forth in every position possible. You know, Dennis Rodman ain't got nothing on me, guys might have said once or twice in the sack. I can do this, that, and then you end up hurting yourself. Women, they're not out to prove anything. They're mature adults. And just for the record, I'll get back to the rest of the story here in just a second. So, just so you know, we're at halftime here. This 40-year-old woman goes on a date, brings a guy back to the hotel. She's trying to bang him up and down like some kind of porn star. She throws her back into the garbage can. Her back is locked up and she's frozen.
The score, by the way, at halftime is 42-0.
Right.
42-0.
We'll get back to the rest of the story in a second, but first, This came from a website called the New York Post, and they need to pay closer attention to what they write in a story. The story says here next, in a reference, of course, to this lady mangling her back while trying to have sex like a 20-year-old, the author wrote, "In other words, this did not, as Bruce Springsteen once said, hurt so good." No, dildos, that was John Cougar Mellencamp.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Well, I was wondering, is there a deep track?
No.
Because, Dana, you're the guy to ask.
Yeah, I don't remember Bruce ever saying those lines.
No.
And I can't imagine he would have after that song came out.
They effed this up. That's John Cougar Mellencamp. Not. Oh, it's interesting, though. Buddy of mine, we cook together. We volunteer at the Wayzata American Legion on broasted chicken nights. We cook together in the back. And, we usually have Cool 108 or something pumping in the kitchen, Josh, because it plays all the hits of the 70s and 80s and everyone.
Love 105 would be a good choice there.
And maybe a little too soft.
Oh, I thought you loved Love 105.
Well, I'm saying in that situation.
Oh, they like to rock.
Right. In that situation.
The rock.
That setup is good for everyone in the kitchen because no one's going to argue back and forth. This is too hard. This is too soft. You know where I'm going with this. So anyway, we're back in the kitchen a few months ago listening to the hits of the 70s and the 80s on Cool 108. And if I remember correctly, we heard Born in the USA, right?
Yes.
And followed by Born in the USA, we heard Jack and Diane. And my buddy Dougie goes, "Now we're talking back-to-back Springsteen."
Does everyone confuse Mellencamp and Springsteen?
And we had to say, no, dude, this is not back-to-back. Anyway. What do I call the website again? New York Post. They effed that up. Hurt So Good is not a reference in any way to Bruce Springsteen.
No.
So back to this lady. The pain was so bad. Of course, they shut down the sex action for the night. And our main character here, Haley the Cougar, she drove herself to the emergency room the next morning. Doctors found out that she had torn a muscle and torn some tissue in her back. She spent the next 11 days laid out in a bed. And here's the heartbreaking part of the story. She must have really freaked this dude out with her aggressive sex techniques because the guy, as the kids would say these days, he ghosted her.
Oh, that's not right.
She said, "I was devastated. It broke my heart. I hadn't been with anyone in 5 months, and this guy told me he was in love with me. I felt used."
Poor lady.
Yeah, the comment section wasn't very nice to her either. A lot of people pointed out that Bruce Springsteen mistake. And they also didn't say very nice things about her appearance.
Her appearance?
Or saying she's a bad mom for what she did.
A bad mom?
You know, in their opinion, mothers shouldn't be having sex. Come on.
No, their only purpose is to be mothers.
Yes.
What's wrong with her appearance?
I don't see anything wrong with it.
There's not a lot of comments that are good.
You social media people can why don't you just F off forever?
Yeah, stop being so miserable.
I mean, especially women, it seems, just get destroyed.
Of course.
About the stupidest stuff.
Well, it's not going to slow our gal Haley down.
I hope not.
Once she's off the injured list, she says she still plans on flopping like a crappie next time she hits the sack with a fella. She says, "I'm a kinky girl at heart. I can't wait to do it again. I just want to do it with the right person this time."
I hope she finds love.
Me too.
I hope she, as Poison once put it, I hope she finds love in an elevator.
No, that's Aerosmith.
This article goes on to tell another story about a dude who broke his pecker because he was banging too hard. You know, going back to the theme of old folks trying to prove themselves in the sack and things giving way. You guys know the story of my old pal whose dong gave way on him.
Oh,
yeah. It gives me shivers.
The details.
Like a hot dog in a microwave is the line. That's the line that he used that I will remember until the day that I die. He said it looked like a hot dog in a microwave.
Yucky.
He thought he was dead. He asked the doctor, "How much time do I have, doc? Give it to me straight." The doctor said, "Well, you're not dying. You just have to somehow stop having sex with the wife 17 times a week." or it was something ridiculous like that. It was even higher than that. Yeah, my arithmetic is terrible. You guys know me. I think he said he was banging the wife like 5-6 times a day.
Oh my gosh.
And yes.
And they weren't newlyweds, right?
No, they had like 5 kids.
Yeah.
Wow. How do you find the time and enough Gatorade?
He's just pumping away.
I had a buddy who was like that for a while. In his situation, the marriage was on the rocks. So they just decided, we're going to have sex all the time. And it fixed it.
Good.
Yeah. They're back to a normal amount.
Ashley hopes that our gal Haley finds love, don't you, Ashley?
Yeah, absolutely.
Beard Jesus texted in. He said, yeah. But at the same time, no.
Oh, why?
I'll tell you why. Because he says, as Skid Row would say, love is for suckers. That's Twisted Sister, love is for suckers.
Yeah, he screwed that one up.
Every week we keep screwing this up.
Actually, I think it was Bruce Springsteen.
That's one of my favorite effing records of all time. Twisted Sister, love is for suckers. What a great record. And then we got this poor bastard right here. A dude ripped a hole in his throat by holding in a sneeze.
My wife used to do that, and I told her, your brain's going to fly out of your head. You just got to let him go.
I never hold in a sneeze. I'm incapable of doing it. It's so painful.
Oh, you guys have seen me sneeze, right?
Oh, my gosh. It's insane.
If I held in a sneeze, and then the eyes would fall out, right?
Oh, 100%.
Your nose would shoot right off your face and kill someone.
I've never understood the sneeze holder inner people. My brother is a sneeze holder inner. I don't get it. What are you afraid of?
Maybe you just don't want to coat people and whatever comes out. I don't know. But yeah, my wife would have quite the wind-up. It'd be like...
Oh!
And that was about it.
That would frustrate me. Just sneeze.
Exactly the way my brother does it.
Yeah,
massive wind-up and then... Or this poor prick is a Scottish dude. And at least over there in Scotland, doctors are calling this disaster the first case of its kind. He's in his 30s. He had to go to the hospital. He was in terrible pain after he held his nose and closed his mouth to try and stop a sneeze. I just don't understand why anyone would do that. His right testicle ended up rolling down his pant leg and settled into one of his shoes.
That's unreal. Wow.
It says here, if the mouth and nose are closed during a sneeze, the pressure in your upper airways can increase by up to 20 times. I don't exactly know what that means, but it sounds bad. When the doctors took a look-see at this effing guy, they heard a cracking sound when they touched his neck. And he had straight up torn his windpipe. He just blew the damn thing loose. He didn't need any of that surgery, but they kept him hanging around the hospital for a few days just to be sure. And fascinating, the human body, is it not, Josh? Fascinating. The tear healed on its own. But it was no fun for a player there for a while. I mean, I bet that hurt.
Oh, I'd imagine.
And doctors said it should be a warning to people to never stifle a sneeze or a big wet fart, they said. They said never...
I give you a tummy ache. Sits on baby. She's said she used to be a sneeze holder inner.
Oh.
And she's blown her eardrums plenty of times.
Oh, no. God.
That sounds painful.
Now she says it's not worth it and she'll gladly spew on whoever is nearby. LOL.
Yeah. I don't get it. All right. We're going to wrap her up here. Again with these goofy pricks who up and try to smuggle live critters onto airplanes and such. We don't see a lot of this gimmick around here, but in other parts of the world, it's like a constant battle. Authorities in an airport in Thailand busted a tourist who was trying to go ahead and smuggle 2 otters and a prairie dog in his effing pants.
I love the little otters.
Little baby otters, little baby prairie dog.
They're so cute. Oh, you ever been to one of those zoos where you get to go up in like the little bubble and see the prairie dogs?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those are so fun.
The bubble.
It's tough to
I don't think
limbo that low at my age, though, where you got to really get down there.
Yeah, I bet.
I don't think I've been in the bubble.
Oh.
There's video of this stupid prick where airport security has the guy in a room and he's removing these poor little critters from his damn drawers. He's got them stuffed in tube socks. This is really effing cruel. I hate this dude. And you know I'm not exactly a fan of otters.
No, you've made that very clear.
It was a 22-year-old Taiwanese dude that was trying to pull this scam. He was trying to get on an airplane and then head off to Taiwan. Airport cops noticed an unusually large bulge. Baloo is not a word. A large bulge below the dude's belt line. And the bulge was moving.
Sir, why is your penis squirming?
Mm-hmm. He had what they call here 2 Asian small-clawed otters and a prairie dog. Both of those little peckerheads are, endangered or at risk, if you know what I'm saying. He had them stuffed in socks and down in his drawers. He's in big trouble. I hope they kick his ass, too. The little otters and little prairie dog are fine. Just a little confused, I would bet. But like I said, this animal smuggling effing crowd is a thing over in Thailand and places like that. In October, an airplane ride from Bangkok to Taiwan got a little mental when a rat and an otter smuggled aboard by a passenger got loose in the cabin.
We need to be smuggling rats on planes.
Yeah, just fly a crappy airline. Maybe you'll find it.
Yeah. Imagine the fun, though, if you... Full-grown otters, I've told you my story before, I hate them. But one of them little baby bastards, imagine him just kind of whipping around the cabin of the airplane. That would help me on a plane ride.
That would be the best day of my life.
Let's find the sumbitch. You know, we'd just be kind of running around, chasing it. He's untying your shoes, playing pranks on you.
Stealing people's peanuts and stuff.
Yeah, just crawls up, takes a peanut bag out of your hand, runs off to the next aisle.
Nom, 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 nom.
My peanuts now. I don't know what's wrong with those folks. We got to take a break. We'll be back with some sports.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Definitely was watching the game on the way to the hospital, in the hospital. So I was yelling, I was screaming. The people that was really, hurt, they probably was annoyed by me. But that was the first time I was in the ambulance in the ER. So it was definitely an experience for me that I don't want again.
Justin Jefferson there, he's going to play tomorrow, right?
He says he is.
He's talking about last week.
I think he's been listed as questionable, but he said he's going to play.
Questionable. Last week when they hauled him off to the hospital in an ambulance when he got hurt in that Raiders game, he said once they got him in the ambulance, and when he was in his hospital bed, he was screaming and yelling, watching the game on his cell phone, and people thought he was, completely out of his mind. I'll tell you what, Justin Jefferson, you weren't the only people screaming and yelling at the television during that friggin' Jesus criminy, that Raiders
I could have
game.
sent a couple of old-time Vikings fans to the hospital for sure.
Oh, man.
The people in the other studio, Nick, they're questionable as well. Wouldn't you say?
God help us,
the three of them over there?
Absolutely.
Especially that Wapple character.
Every damn day.
I think I downgraded to doubtful, to be honest.
The question is, how in God's name did you get hired around here, I guess is the question. Hey, we were talking about fun critters and whatnot. We had that story in the Stupid News about wacky bastards who smuggle critters through the airport onto the airplanes. It's a weird deal. Otters and prairie dogs and things like that. Riddle of Steel Jesus texted in. Anyone here ever had a ferret?
No, but a good friend of mine did.
I heard they smell not ideal.
That's what I heard.
I can confirm that. She brought him everywhere, though. She loved to travel with that guy.
That's cute.
Riddle of Steel Jesus said his ferret used to steal his French fries off the coffee table and then try to fight him when he tried to stop the ferret.
Oh, man.
Come on, you bastard. All right, that was a really nice win for the Wolves last night. And the Wolves bench was a big factor. Naz Reid.
Your guy.
The player that I discovered here. Before any other Timberwolves noticed Naz Reid, I had his back. Big Jelly, they call him. I'm not sure why. Maybe he's a member of the Jelly of the Month Club.
Could be.
Maybe he likes jelly donuts.
He hit 7 3-point baskets, and he finished with 27 points. He was a major factor in the Wolves' win last night over the Dallas Mavericks, 119-101. They're at home against the Indiana Pacers tomorrow night. The Pigs were down a goal in the third period, came back, tied it, and then beat the Calgary Flames in one of those silly high school shootouts. What's the name of the city that visiting team came from, Dana?
What's that? Oh, Calgary.
Dude, you nailed it.
I'm so proud of you.
I feel good about myself.
I wish people could hear the progression because it was off air the other day. If you weren't listening yesterday, off air, Dana was telling a story about how he couldn't say Calgary, and it was very, very bad.
I feel like it was making you uncomfortable after like the fourth or fifth attempt.
Yeah, after a while, we just kind of wanted to put you down.
Yeah.
We almost shot you in the head just to end the misery.
Is he having a stroke right now?
You were struggling. You were saying...
Calgary.
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 The boys play Vancouver tomorrow afternoon at the X, and I guess the final score from last night's football game was 63 points for the Las Vegas Raiders to 21 points for the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm sure Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder will want to talk about that.
But yeah, it was 42-0 halftime.
What the hell happened? That's a totally different game than last week.
Goat rodeo is what you call that. We can cover the ball game, this and that. We have company also coming up in a half hour aside from Randy and Brad. Of course, Big Tim Sheridan.
Are you talking about Andrew DePaola?
Andrew DePaola, long snapper for the Minnesota Vikings. We'll get a listener on air for Purple Pick'em. Dad fights. Josh's news is coming up next.
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Grace here, customer service rep at Standard Heating. I'm proud to work for a company that understands and takes care of our fellow Minnesotans. Our weather here can be a little unpredictable and even extreme. That's why we've been here for 93 years and counting, to keep our community safe and comfortable.
On behalf of myself and Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, we would like to wish you a very happy holidays. And don't forget, Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is open 24/7 for emergency services to make sure you stay warm this holiday season. Go to standardheating.com today.
We're all juggling life, a career, and trying to build a little bit of wealth. The Brown Ambition podcast with host Mandy and Tiffany the Budgetnista can help.
Ultimately, I'm not expecting that you know how to do everything, but I am expecting that you are willing to learn.
You can't be in the passenger seat when it comes to your career.
No.
You can't expect your manager to teach you every single thing. If you're falling behind in a skill, like finding a way to get caught up without just telling your boss, like, I don't get it.
Brown Ambition.
Wherever you listen.
She's got a red nose because she was crying at some point in time. This is not Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. This is Kinsley the Red-Nosed Criminal.
A porch pirate caught on camera stealing packages in broad daylight said she was stealing the packages to re-gift them. You cheap bastard. 32-year-old Kinsley Mott, seen on the victim's home surveillance camera walking up to the porch, taking numerous Amazon boxes and driving off. Mott followed the Amazon delivery truck to a subdivision in Winter Haven, Florida. She stole the packages from front porches in the neighborhood around noon Monday, shortly after they were dropped off. After reviewing the victim's surveillance videos, investigators found Mott at her place of employment, a pizza place. When shown the doorbell footage of her stealing the packages, she responded, "Well, what if it was actually someone else who just had my face?"
Oh.
To which Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd said,
If I was going to pick another face, it wouldn't be that one.
Oh, that's why people love him.
Whoa, shots fired.
That's why people love him. When Mott finally admitted it, she told deputies she was planning on re-gifting the stolen items at Christmas.
We asked her during the interview, why did you steal the presents? She said, well, I stole them because I'm going to give them away as presents for Christmas. So how about turning them back to us so we can get them to the owners? She wouldn't do it.
Mott has a lengthy criminal history dating back to 2016. We got more Grady Judd in a second.
I mean, how friggin' nuts and just self-absorbed and irrational, unreasonable can you be to do something like that and say, well, I was going to give them to other people? No, that does not apply.
It does make you a good person.
That doesn't, no.
You're not Robin Hood.
No. I mean, hell, this is a porch pirate, right, Josh?
Yeah.
He stole them off the porch.
That's right.
I mean, it's really sad and pathetic out there these days. A buddy of mine from my hometown, this was a robbery. It wasn't a porch pirate situation. He assumes, his estimation is he was out of his house for maybe a half hour, came back, and all the presents were gone out of his house. Someone got in and out of his house in like around a half hour.
Wow.
Stole every damn thing he had under the tree.
That's so messed up.
Yeah.
In related Amazon news, the company's popular Thank My Driver program is back for the holidays. If you tell your Amazon device, "Thank my driver," your most recent Amazon delivery driver will get $5 at no charge to you, a little $5 bonus.
Well, what the hell?
I love when they do this.
Yeah. The promotion will last until 2 million drivers receive thanks from customers. I do it every time.
Yeah, nice.
They offer the money this time of year, but, then they get a little notification. They did a wonderful job for you. One of 2 Florida burglary grand theft suspects with a long criminal history bragged he'd get out of jail in no time until he realized he was taken into custody in Polk County, a Florida county where the law is enforced by a no-nonsense sheriff with a tough-on-crime platform. One of our favorites here at 93X, America's favorite sheriff, Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd. He said his deputies spotted a stolen Ram pickup just after 1 a.m. Wednesday. 24-year-old Tamari Lucas was arrested along with a 14-year-old boy. Upon his arrest, Lucas proudly and quite confidently boasted to deputies he wouldn't be in jail for very long because he was arrested in Osceola County, where he suggested they went easy on criminals like himself. But when they informed him he was in fact taken into custody in Polk County, where Sheriff Grady Judd is the top lawman, he said, "Oh my God, not Grady Judd, are you effing serious?" The now not-so-cocky Lucas said to the cops. Here's Grady Judd himself explaining what happened.
Well, when we were arresting Tamara Lucas, he made the statement, "Hey, I'm in Osceola County. I'll be in, I'll be out." One of the detectives said, "No, this is Polk County." And he said, "O-F, Grady Judd. Those guys don't play there."
Judd told reporters during a press conference, "The reality is we want all burglars to understand that nobody plays in Polk County." He has a reputation for being a hard-ass sheriff who never minces words and is frequently seen at news conferences condemning criminals, often going viral for his humor and blunt approach. You just heard him saying a lady was ugly a second ago. That's an approach that's won over both law enforcement and residents. Lucas is charged with grand theft motor vehicle, not having a valid driver's license, 2 counts of criminal mischief, and fleeing to elude law enforcement. He, too, has a lengthy criminal history, which includes 30 previous felony charges.
Holy cow.
Again, he's only 24. 12 previous misdemeanor charges and 19 rearrest charges. Investigators said the 2 suspects were using the stolen cars to commit multiple burglaries. A former, whose neck was that?
Yeah.
Somebody's neck just got on the radio.
It wasn't mine.
That was the loudest guttural I've heard on air in decades.
Yeah.
I didn't even hear it.
Oh, man. You didn't hear that?
Then maybe it was me.
How did you not hear that?
It was so loud.
Yeah. Your neck guttural was just heard by tens of people. Yeah. A former Pennsylvania mayor was sentenced to prison time after firing a gun at Pokemon Go players last year. Osceola Mills Mayor Ida Reams sentenced Monday in a plea deal for her March 2022 outburst against 2 people playing Pokemon Go.
Does that mean they're like walking the streets?
I think they were in a car. Going around catching them all. The incident happened at a community food bank where a 911 call said Reams told the duo to get out right now or she'd effing kill them.
The defendant, she was at a local establishment, intoxicated when she left. She was making allegations that they were potentially using drugs or something along those lines.
Police said they heard 2 gunshots and the call disconnected at about the same time as Reams' call. A 911 call was made from one of the 2 Pokemon Go players. The man said he and his friend were playing Pokemon Go when Mayor Reams came out, noticeably intoxicated, starting yelling at them before firing her weapon.
She was a mayor?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I've heard of towns with drunken mayors before.
What are you 2 on drugs or something? That kind of a thing. And she's hammered off of her ass.
Hey, I don't like impaired people. Bang, bang! An Anoka County deputy crawled onto a frozen lake December 3rd to rescue 2 fishermen and a dog believed to be suffering from hypothermia after falling through ice. He decided to start the rescue operation and crawled out on the frozen lake, and now then, even before the sheriff's office Marine unit arrived.
Chris, where are you going?
He's going out there because...
Chris, I don't like it.
Neither do I. But
Let's get through it. These guys are hypothermic.
His colleagues made sure both ends of a tethered rope were tied to him prior to getting on his belly, pushing himself out toward the stuck fisherman and puppy.
Get ready to pull.
Get ready. Get ready to pull. 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 Go towards that one.
Both fishermen, as well as the very good boy, were successfully rescued.
You want to get him up here?
Keep coming. Come on. It's thicker over here.
1 zebra 28. We got one male back to shore. 1 zebra 28. The second and last male is back on shore.
Come on, puppy.
Chris is
Come on, puppy. Come on. Good boy.
Wapple, as a Anoka County junior deputy, does that make you proud?
Oh, yeah.
One of your guys is out there being a hero?
Mm-hmm. Everyone didn't want him to do it, but he stepped up.
That's true. They said, don't do it. He said, I'm going to do it. And he saved it. The department used the incident as an opportunity to remind the community ice on some Minnesota lakes and ponds isn't thick enough to walk on, and doing so puts people at, quote, significant risk of falling through and experiencing hypothermia or death.
I've never messed with that too much. I know some people that they like to risk it. They like to walk out on like 2-3 inches of ice, but yeah, nothing less than like 7 for me.
7 inches or nothing for you.
Yup.
What a size queen.
Oh my gosh.
The state of New Mexico started testing wastewater at some Metro Albuquerque high schools for illicit drugs and released the initial round of test results Wednesday. And the poop coming out of those schools could easily belong to Charlie Sheen with all the cocaine in it.
At a high school?
Yeah, at a bunch of schools. A bunch of schools in that area. According to the test results, the drug that showed up the most was cocaine, and they were shocked. They had no idea cocaine was so big. The state spent months testing for illicit drugs at 24 schools in the area. They took samples every 15 minutes over the school day using an automatic sampling device.
Not just testing wastewater generated by students. We're testing wastewater by anybody who used the facilities in that building. That's students, that's parents, that's staff, that's vendors.
That's the voice of New Mexico Department of Health Secretary Patrick Allen. He said there were traces of fentanyl in about a quarter of the schools tested. At least one opioid showed up in 15 of the 24 schools. But Allen said a positive for an opioid doesn't always mean it was illegal. A lot of them are prescribed, he said. Again, cocaine was the most prevalent of any drug, showing up in 18 of the 24 schools, specifically high schools. Methamphetamine also showed up nearly everywhere. But Allen said ADHD medication could explain that.
The test result is impossible to distinguish between methamphetamine and Adderall.
State leaders say the data will help policymakers come up with plans for how to tackle issues specific to each community. They plan to continue testing at every public high school and post the results.
I bet you a group of kids from this school end up making a great grunge record.
They're signing a record contract as we speak. A doctor and his wife who appeared on the Bravo reality series Below Deck were arraigned on drug charges in New York yesterday for allegedly filling out bogus opioid prescriptions using the names of fellow cast members from the show. Prosecutors said the 55-year-old transmitted prescriptions for the opioid drug oxycodone to a Long Island pharmacy with names of fellow Below Deck cast members listed as purported patients.
He abused the celebrity position that he had on that ship to take the identities of his crew members and then use that to buy drugs. That is a common scheme for a common criminal.
His 38-year-old wife, again, he's 55, then picked up the drugs and paid in cash. An investigation turned up evidence of numerous fake oxycodone prescriptions that the disgraced urologist and reality TV star had written naming Below Deck cast members as patients. None of the oxycodone was actually intended for the people named in the prescription, prosecutors said. Below Deck, which premiered on Bravo in 2013, follows crew members on board a luxury yacht and the passengers they cater to. The couple appeared on the spin-off Below Deck Mediterranean in 2019, as well as Below Deck Sailing Yacht the following year.
Sailing yacht.
Someone on this show might love it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Wapple's obsessed with that show.
Yeah.
Hey!
Oh, are you really?
Yeah, he is.
I absolutely love it.
I haven't seen it. I've seen promos for it or whatever, but it's just rich folks being pampered.
Yeah, on yachts. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. You get to see them go on crazy vacations and the debauchery that happens. This guy was a douche.
Well, it sounds like maybe he was doing some things that art of a good quality person.
Yeah, I saw him like 4 times on the show. One time he was with a bunch of different couples, and then the second time he was with they were probably about 27-year-old dudes, and they were just partying. They were just a bunch of gronks.
Oh, I got a Gronk clip coming up. Nice. Mr. Beast, a popular YouTuber, was ordered to stop selling candy with the name D's Nuts. Mr. Beast, real name James Donaldson, sells a chocolate peanut candy called D's Nuts, D-E-E-Z Nuts, through his food company, Feastables. But a Jacksonville man took Feastables and Donaldson to court after he noticed the name sounded similar to his gourmet peanut business, D's Nuts, D-E-E''S. D's Nuts owner, Brian Dittor, said he named the company after his grandmother, Dee, and owns the copyright. His attorneys filed an injunction last week seeking to block Donaldson from using the name. On Wednesday, a U.S. District Court judge sided with the man and ordered Donaldson to stop using D's Nuts.
That guy's always doing something else. Like Mr. Beast, he's always having a new way to get rich.
Is he always up to something?
He sure is.
Mr. Beast.
Isn't he the most popular YouTuber there is?
I think so.
That's what I've heard.
Does your son watch him, Josh?
Not a ton, but he has. Yeah. My son's the one that introduced him to me.
Oh.
But he doesn't watch a lot of it, but he does watch sometimes.
216 million followers on YouTube.
Oh. That's quite a bit.
Yeah.
I ain't going to be one of them.
Taking a hard stand here.
Me neither. In theaters this week, Wonka. With dreams of opening a shop in a city renowned for its chocolate, a young and poor Willy Wonka discovers the industry is run by a cartel of greedy chocolatiers. So he assembles a team to take him down. Timothée Chalamet plays Willy Wonka. The movie also stars Keegan-Michael Key, Rowan Atkinson, and Hugh Grant. It's a good day for me and Ashley, as today on Prime Video, the second season premiere of Reacher.
Oh my gosh.
Based on the popular book series by Lee Child. Over on Apple TV Plus, Mark Wahlberg in The Family Plan. A former top assassin living incognito as a suburban dad is forced to take his unsuspecting family on the run when his past catches up to him. Paramount Plus just released Finest Kind.
Jesus criminy.
I'll be watching. A crime thriller starring Tommy Lee Jones, Ben Foster, and Jenna Ortega. A pair of brothers who get in trouble with the law are forced to work for a crime syndicate in Boston. The streaming premiere of Barbie made its way to Max today, and Kate McKinnon hosts Saturday Night Live with Billie Eilish as the musical guest.
Ooh, that's gonna be a white wedding.
No, that's Billy Idol.
It's gonna...
You're thinking Billy Idol.
Billie Eilish?
Yeah, Billie Eilish.
God help us all.
Adopted Minnesotan Ernie Hudson of Ghostbusters celebrates his 78th birthday on Sunday. He looks good. Comedian J.B. Smoove turns 58 tomorrow.
He's so funny.
Tomorrow, former Viking Jerry Ball, 59.
Jerry Ball.
Then today, Sonny Crockett on Miami Vice, Don Johnson, 74. Best of luck to Chandler Welder Jesus, friend of the show. He has a scan coming up Monday to see the progress of the chemotherapy. Wishing you the best, my man. Congratulations to Somehow, Someway Still Sober Jesus, celebrating 9 months of sobriety. Am I drunk? Of sobriety. Happy 24th to Focus ST Jesus, and wanted me to tell Nick, John Wick is elite. And that's 93X News.
Yeah. There's other folks out there that hope so, too. Here we go. It's about to get awful busy around here on the Half-Assed Morning Show as we welcome our dad fighters onto the program. Hello, Randy Shaver.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Brad Ryder.
Good morning.
Hey.
Also, she's a Friday, so we get a crack at the inside info on the Vikings from a Pro Bowler, long snapper Andrew DePaola. Good morning, Depot.
Good morning, guys.
It's nice to hear from you again, and thanks for winning that ball game for your teammates last week. If you hadn't been, really, honestly, what are you laughing at? If Andrew's not ready, they lose or tie that ball game.
That's 100% correct.
Man, we got a lot of work that game.
I'm sure you're thinking, again? I was just out there. We were busy.
I'll be honest, they did, it was like we punted. I got a little cup of water. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh, gosh, we're up again. All right, here we go.
Yep. And that happened, how many times did you punt on that Sunday?
I think we punted 8, and then if you count that little punt out of the field goal formation, that would be 9.
Yeah.
Have you played in a game where it's been that many?
Yeah, I played in a game where we punted more than that.
Oh, you have?
Uh-huh.
Do you know the most that you've been a part of?
I think it was 12.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, so there is still a little bit of a gap there, man.
Mm-hmm.
If Depot's not ready, well, here's the deal, Andrew. If you're not ready last Sunday, you fellas might still be playing that game.
Man.
It was a hell of a deal. Hell of a deal.
And then Vegas went and put up 63 last night.
So does that mean that the Vikings have the greatest defense on planet Earth?
There's an argument to be made.
Right? You hold the Raiders to jack squat, and then the following week they put up 63 points.
There's an argument to be made, I'm saying.
You didn't happen to watch any of that. I missed it. I didn't see any of last night's ball game.
I watched the whole thing. It was fun.
It was, yeah. They clobbered them.
63 friggin' points for the...
it looked like the Chargers gave up. I'm sorry.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
It just looked like... It almost looked like a couple of those fumbles. Again, this is just me. But it looked like they gave them away. It just looked like
They're like, oh, here's the ball. You
almost
wanted it?
Like they
I guess
did it
I didn't
on
want
purpose.
it.
I know they didn't. I know they didn't do that. But it looked like it. It was bad.
Well,
If Brandon Staley has a job today, I'll be shocked because that was not a performance
today.
People wanted him fired at halftime.
Oh, I know they did.
Awesome.
But that's not a performance in which your owner's going to go, well, that we tried, we gave it our best. No, they didn't give it their best.
I think that pretty much means the Vikings have the greatest defense on planet Earth. When you shut out a club one week, they come back the next week and they set a franchise record for most points scored in a single game.
Right.
Yeah, you were talking about the fumbles. The defense forced 3 fumbles. The Raiders' defense forced 3 fumbles and made an interception that was then returned for a touchdown. It was 42-0 at halftime. It was 63-7 at one point.
I was hoping they'd make it to 80. Just get to 80.
We've seen a little bit of everything the last couple of weeks, haven't we?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, here you go. Now you got to go ahead and play football tomorrow, Andrew.
Yeah, yep.
You all right with that?
Yeah, I should be.
Doesn't mess with your, your schedule too badly or anything like that?
No. I mean, it's a little bit less recovery on the front end, but you gain a day on the back end, so it's kind of like you don't necessarily call it a wash, but I mean, lose a day, gain a day, sort of thing.
Yeah, there you go. You guys could do something pretty special this week, and that is win 4 games with 4 different starting quarterbacks. That's pretty rare. Now, the Browns have done that this season. They won a few games with Deshaun Watson. They won a game with P.J. Walker. They won a game with some character named Dorian Thompson Robinson.
You made that name up.
I think I did. And then they won a game or 2 here with one of my idols, Joe Flacco. So now for you fellas, of course, as you know very well, but just in case folks aren't paying full attention, you've won a game this year with Kirk Cousins. You won a game with Jaron, well, at least as a starter, Jaron Hall. And then, of course, the Pastronaut, and now you go with Nick Mullins. So
it's fun.
That would be pretty cool if you could accomplish something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just speaks to the character and resiliency of the team. It's like not necessarily a plug and play because I've got to think Kirk obviously played as well and lights out as he played in the beginning, and then Jaron comes in and leads us down the field on that first drive. Unfortunately, he gets knocked out, but Dobbs comes in, does great against Atlanta and New Orleans, and now Nick came in last game and moved us down the field to get in range to get those 3 points for the win. So I mean, it's just it's a testament to those guys to being ready, and then it's a testament to the team just being like, okay, next man up, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
It could also speak to the improvement of your defense. Your defense has really stepped it up the last 5 or 6 weeks.
They've been playing well. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's been fun to watch.
Defensive Player of the Week in the NFC, I believe, is Pace, your linebacker. I can't think of the first name.
Ivan Pace.
Ivan Pace.
Ivan Pace, yeah.
And isn't he a guy that no
He's
one
undrafted,
no one really bothered to take too good of a look at the kid, kind of a situation? Yeah.
John Randall kind of guy.
I'm not sure what happened there. I think there's a lot of organizations kicking themselves right now, because I think he was, you got to think he was on at least everyone's board somewhere, if he was undrafted guy on everyone's board. But after the year he's been having, how do you not go to your scouting department and be like, hey, how did we miss this kid? Like what did y'all see? What did you get wrong?
Yeah.
Or what didn't you see?
Right.
Yeah.
Randy Shaver can relate to that. Overlooked, no one takes him seriously kind of an approach.
Every day. Every morning on this show. Every morning on this show.
Back to this quarterback situation. There've been a lot of quarterback drama in the NFL this year, no question. The Giants have won a game with 3 different starting quarterbacks. 8 teams have won with 2 different starting quarterbacks. But I guess it does pay to have your regular guy stay healthy all year long. All 8 current division leaders, the Ravens, the Jaguars, the Chiefs, Dolphins, Cowboys, Lions, 49ers, and Buccaneers, have started the same quarterback all season. But you never know, do you, Andrew DePaola? That's why you have guys ready to go.
You never know. Never know.
Why can't I think for the life of me who the hell is the starting quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
It's
Baker Mayfield.
Oh, Baker Mayfield.
Remember the jersey you were supposed to buy.
Oh, for God's sake. I forgot all about it. You're going into tomorrow's game, Andrew DePaola, with some injury problems. That sucks. You got Madison and Brian O'Neill. That's too bad. It's those guys, both with ankle injuries, I'm sure that's... But, Justin Jefferson is expected to play. That's got to be wonderful news for everybody.
I'm sure it's wonderful news for everyone. I like to hear when he's playing, so...
Yeah. Bengals starting wide receiver Jamar Chase says he's the NFL's top wide receiver over Justin Jefferson. Do you have any comments on that? Well, those guys are buddies, right?
Yeah,
right.
They're really close, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really close friends. But if I'm just being objective and looking at it, you want your number one receiver to say that. Who wants their number one receiver to be like, yeah, I think I'm number 2 or 3. You don't want your guy to be, you want him to be like, you want that confidence and that attitude. And I think that's healthy for both guys. And hey, look, it gets people talking about it.
You're right.
If I'm being biased personally, I'll take our guy, 18. But hey, they can argue about who's the best all they want.
That's the only time I'd have confidence to say that, though, if I was in Chase's position. When the other guy's been on the sideline for 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah, right. It's ball busting, but also I agree with Depot. I think we all agree with Depot. You want your top guys to be confident.
That's just a stupid question by the reporter. What's the guy going to say? Oh, the other guy's better than me? Come on.
Right.
I'm the best, he says. I don't feel like we're the 2 best. I feel like I'm the best. You want to be confident. It's like when Jerry Lawler, years ago in the WWE, he grabbed a live mic and he brought it into the crowd and he asked a kid in the crowd, he says, who is your favorite wrestler and why is it me? And he put the microphone. What else is going on with these guys? Well, okay, so Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson are close buddies. Andrew DePaola, who's your best football bro?
Best football bro?
Yeah.
Man. On the team or just in the league in general?
In the league, because you've played for a couple teams. You got friends, I'm sure, all over the league. So who's your best football bro and why is he your best football bro?
That's a great question. I've got and look, I'm 36. This was my 14th year of at least attempting to be in the NFL, right?
Good
It's
Lord.
my ninth active. So I've been around. I know a lot of guys in the league. The older guys. I've made a lot of really cool relationships with a lot of different players. There's a handful of guys that I've played with who are still playing that, were at my wedding and, that we'll meet up with in the off season just to spend a couple days together. So So I mean, it's really hard to pick just like one guy because I have a lot of really special relationships with a lot of people. Outside of this team, you know, I'm really close with the punter from Dallas, Brian Anger. I'm really close with the snapper in Tennessee, Morgan Cox. Basically, any specialist, I'm going to have some sort of relationship with them, whether it's a good relationship, a friendly relationship, or like I text these guys on the regular just to say, hey, how are they doing, things like that.
You've gotten each other out of jail. You've backed each other up when the wife is, on your ass kind of a thing.
Oh, an alibi man.
Yeah, an alibi
fall guy. Like Chris Carter always says, you got to have a fall guy.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Pleading the fifth.
Speaking of punters, we're getting a lot of texts. They want us to ask you about you defending your punter, Ryan, right there on the sideline, and you get flagged for it.
Yeah, this was the Raider game. You got in kind of a dust-up, huh, Depot?
That was awesome.
Watch it now. You don't want to get fined.
Oh, can you get fined for talking about it?
Well, no, I'm just teasing.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, that was awesome. And so many people text us. They're like, they loved that.
Yeah. I was telling him, I didn't know if he was aware that at DePaola's Bagels, we now have the Christmas bagel bundle box. And I was just telling him that.
That's so nice
and, he pushed me, and he said, get out of here. And that's when I said, yeah. I was like, how do you not know? So, I mean, he knows now.
I want to order a bunch of them. I want to order a bunch of those now. That's awesome.
You tuck a coupon into his belt line there or something, and
dude,
I thought maybe he said, "What do you mean you don't have an everything bagel? Come on."
No coupons for NFL guys; they can afford it.
What comes in the bagel box? What is that? Exactly?
Good question.
We've got it's a plain bagel, but we've dyed it. We took three doughs, red, green, and then just your traditional white. Plain bagel looking dough,
right?
And then we kind of wrapped them, like braided them, rolled them together, and made a bagel, and then baked them, and they came out, red, green, and white, and they're really cool. They're really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you guys ship
really
those?
Cool.
Like, can you order them here, and can we have them shipped? Do you do anything like that?
We don't do shipping yet. It's something we're looking into. That's probably like a next year project, just to, because we've had so much interest from people out here. Just wanting to get a couple, but we don't ship yet. Not yet. We've got enough to worry about currently, but that's definitely coming. It's definitely coming.
That is hilarious,
dude. That was awesome.
Good for you. They call that being the bigger man, I guess. The bigger man. With the young kids at home. At the house with the young kids at the house, Depot. Things are about ready to come undone, right? We're getting closer and closer to Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Has it just been madness at the house, or what?
Madness. Yeah. I'm sure my wife's listening right now, just rolling her eyes, being like, he has no idea. But yeah,
she's putting in the real work there.
She's been awesome.
Wife does all the shopping for the kids and whatnot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So is it a situation where you don't even know what the hell's going to be coming out of that? When the kids unwrap the presents, you don't even know what the hell's going on until they pull the toy out of the box, kind of a thing.
I have an idea. But when they pull it out, I'm going to be like, wow, I didn't know Santa got him that. That's cool.
It's fun for you then, too.
It's kind of fun.
What the hell? Did Santa get a raise? What's going on?
Don't feel bad about it. We all do that, right? We all put other people in charge of getting a gift when we run low on time or whatever, and then, you pretend like you know exactly what's happening when they're unwrapping it. We all can do at least that little bit of play acting.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the kids are, again, the ages of these kids that you have at the house?
4, 2.5, and 7 months.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great Christmas.
So I suppose it's a few years before they really get buck wild, when kids get a little older, that's when they really get crazy about Christmas. The 7-month, whatever, 5, 6, 7, whatever you said, 7-month-old has no idea what's happening. But, they get a little older,
Yeah, I mean, obviously 7-month-old, no idea. The 2.5-year-old, he kind of gets it. You know, he's into it. I think he likes it, but still, he's just kind of like, yeah, okay, cool. But the 4-year-old, she's really into it, and that's been really cool to watch and kind of interact with her and be able to do all those things with her. So,
that is
fun. I think another year or two, then the 2 older ones will like really be into it with the younger one, just kind of being like, yeah, okay, cool, Christmas, I get it, it's fun.
We've got a lot of listeners, I'm sure, with little kids. So with a 4-year-old, what is it that you think would send her into oblivion if she, opened a certain gift under the tree this year?
Mine would be like anything dress up, like anything dress up, like any like a Disney princess dress, or kind of like a. Not like a real makeup kit, but like a little fake makeup kit that she can kind of like put fake jewelry on and do her nails and face. Obviously not like real, but like, playing around with it. She's really into like the dress up and playing different characters and all that.
That kind of thing. I mean, I never lose when I give those kind of gifts to Josh every Christmas.
I love it. I like to get pretty.
There you
Josh
go.
is into dress up. There's no doubt.
Just makes me feel so confident. Andrew, is this true? We're getting texts from listeners saying you have the same agent as Tommy DeVito. If that's the case, your agent's become famous this week.
That is some world-class digging. Yeah. Yep, that's true.
That is true.
Wow.
No kidding.
True.
Have you talked to him since he's become so viral this week?
No. Nope. No. I mean, I've been with Sean. I've been with Sean for practically almost my entire time in the NFL, and then he was with a different agency, and then he broke off and started his own. So I went with him, and I've been with him ever since. And
that's hilarious.
It's been great. And it's
I was going to ask how many guys he has. How many clients does he have?
I don't know. I actually don't know. Huh. That's a great question. Maybe that's something I should know, but I really don't know.
Wow.
But I do, funny story, maybe not funny, but this past year at the Pro Bowl, he came and he was with me, and we did like the Top Golf event where you go to Top Golf and food and everything and play some golf. And he was like, hey, do you mind if I bring one of my clients to Top Golf, like into your little area? And I was like, yeah, no big deal. Like, who is he? And he's like, I've got this quarterback. His name's Tommy DeVito. You really like him. So he actually came into our little area, and we met him, talked to him for a bit, hung out. And I didn't stay too long, but I was like, dude, have at it. Like, whatever you want to do, just go ahead. It's on the NFL. So eat whatever you want. I don't know how old you are, so maybe not drink, but drink if you want. I don't know. Play some golf. So got a chance to meet him and talk to him and give him, I don't even know if you want to count it, words of encouragement, but that was funny.
We appreciate that. That's really interesting.
That's funny.
We appreciate our listeners giving us a heads up on that. We never would have known that.
No, they always say, we always say the all-knowing brother and sisterhood. That's for sure.
That's great. Yeah. Everyone's talking about Tommy Cutlets. Here's the deal, Andrew. We know you got to get going. We'll be checking you out tomorrow against the Cincinnati Bengals there in Ohio. The best of luck to you, and we can't wait to talk to you next week. Well, we hope you have a great game tomorrow.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I'm going to throw out a proposal. I've been cooking on this for a little while. So last year, I know we did like some tweet for the Pro Bowl trying to figure it out. Well, this year, and you can throw it back if you don't like it, but I've got a game jersey. If y'all want to do a contest on your Twitter, I don't know how you want to do it, but I've got a game jersey. I'll sign it. You can pick out a winner of whoever, I don't know. You pick out a random retweeter or something like that. If y'all want to run with that, I've got a game jersey here ready to go.
Well, what a nice Christmas gift that is.
Very cool.
Hey, it's Christmas time.
Yeah.
We really appreciate that, Andrew. Tell you what, we'll drink about it. And we'll come up with something because that's really generous of you. Our listeners.
Maybe that's something you can give away next week, Nick.
That'd be awesome.
There you go, Randy Shaver. Our listeners are crazy about you, so I'm sure we could get something cooking. That's really cool. Great idea.
Awesome.
Thank you, Andrew. We'll talk to you next week. We'll come up with something by next week.
I love it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, dude.
Good luck.
Every Friday. Deep-ho in the mix. What a nice gesture on his
that's
part.
Great.
That's
the best.
really cool.
Nobody does that kind of thing.
Nobody, especially for us.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that was great.
I'd like to hang that jersey in my closet right next to my true story Darko Milicic Wolves jersey.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I remember you
That's
wearing
a
that.
classic.
Mm-hmm.
Classic. Next to your Joey Harrington jersey.
No, I don't know what happened to that.
Classic.
I don't know what happened to that. I gifted it to you.
And I gifted it back.
You gifted it. Oh, you know what? No, I do know what happened to it. I gave it to your son, Ryan.
Oh, well, then it's completely gone then.
Yeah.
Next to your Mike Glennon jersey.
I do have a Mike Glennon jersey somewhere, too. You're right. But, yeah, that was a funny thing. Years ago, because Randy hated, some of you are too young to even know who we're talking about. There was a quarterback out of Oregon who was a top pick of the Detroit Lions, and he just turned into garbage, and Randy would complain every week about how much he disliked watching Joey Harrington on television. So I got him a Joey jersey for Christmas. You were not a fan. You gave it back to me, and I think Ryan was still maybe a high school kid or something, and he said, "Did my dad really give you back the Joey?" I said, "Yeah," and he said, "Can I have it?" I said, "Sure."
Do you remember when we tried to give Randy your dog for Christmas one year?
Yes, I did.
Awful.
And Randy thought it was legit, and he was not happy.
The dog looked at me so sad that I wouldn't take him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you were not going to take that dog.
That was my old dachshund, the Ozman, the sumbitch who tried to kill one of Cubby's stepkids. He lived to be 19 years old.
Yep.
I'd say halfway through his life, I don't know, it was a thing. For a stretch of time, we were talking about how Randy you hadn't had a dog since you were a kid, right?
Well, I had Roseanne and I had a dog early on before we had kids.
Okay, that's what it was. So you hadn't had a dog in years. So we used to exchange Christmas gifts on the air. Randy would come in studio and we'd exchange Christmas gifts on the air. And as a joke, we brought in my dog and presented it to Randy as if we were giving him a dog for Christmas.
Yeah.
No.
Not a puppy, not a cute little puppy. This really,
kind of
with a taste for face
Yes.
at that point as he ripped my stepdaughter's face off.
You know, people who own dachshunds know they kind of reek. So we gifted him kind of a smelly, violent dachshund for Christmas.
Yeah.
And then, let him in on the joke.
You know what? I'm
Merry
sorry.
freaking Christmas.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, you weren't happy. I need to apologize to our porn star friend Jordan Max. I had mentioned nobody does stuff like that for us, like Depot just did, offering us an autographed game-worn jersey. I forgot just yesterday, because she does this on the side, Brad and Randy, I don't know if you knew this, but you can pay her to rate your genitalia.
Yeah.
And she will say what she likes, what she doesn't like, make some suggestions, and she told us yesterday 10 a day. That's how much business she's getting. And she mentioned just for Christmas, for 93X listeners, she would give either free or discounted ratings of their genitalia. And I totally forgot. I feel like a jerk.
All of what Josh just told you was 100% true.
Mm-hmm.
So nice.
Nothing says Christmas like that, Randy. What do you think?
She will.
The old Yule log, she'll rate that thing for you.
If you contact her on whatever it is, OnlyFans, I don't know the setup.
I think that's what she said, right?
She'll give you a discount on a penis rating. She'll critique your penis. She'll give you some kind of a discount if you mention the Half-Assed Morning Show. And Josh also wasn't lying about the 10 Ds a day. Josh and I only see 3 Ds a day. Ashley, Wapple, and Dana. She sees 10 of them.
And this is nice, too. God, the brotherhood and sisterhood are awesome. Dry-aged Ribeye Jesus said he wants to get involved in this, and he wants to give away his high school game-worn football jersey, and he'll autograph it for someone as well. Game-worn.
All right, here's how you get in on the Purple Pick'em scene here on our program. Listen to 93X. Listen to this friggin' radio station at 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Listen for that keyword to text in. You got to get that keyword to text in. You enter a little bucket. You get into the bucket of names and numbers, and we pick one out of nowheres to come on air and make some predictions. Let's talk to Chad in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. He's our purple picker today. Hello, Chad.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
We're doing all right. How's everything in Eau Claire? I mean, aside from the obvious.
Oh, pretty good.
Which of the two clubs do you root for, then? Minnesota or Green Bay?
Oh, I got to go with Green Bay.
Nice talking to you, man.
Well, that's all right, Chad.
We understand.
Your club doesn't bother me so much now that you got rid of the gas bag.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Well, we need your calls, your predictions for tomorrow's game. It's funny having to say tomorrow's game. If you get either of the scores correct, halftime or the final, you win $1,000. If you nail them both, $100,000, and you get a trip out to that big fat ball game in February. You know what I'm talking about. And this is all sponsored by the Next Generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. So how about your predictions, Chad, for, how do you call it, halftime?
Halftime, I'm going to go Minnesota 6 and Cincinnati 17.
Oh, boy.
Whoa.
That Depot's going to be busy.
Yeah, sounds that way.
Okay. And the final?
Final, Cincinnati 27, Minnesota 13.
You said again, Cincinnati 27, Minnesota 13.
Yes, sir.
Somehow, last week, Chad, we didn't get a winner out of that 3-0 final score.
Shocking.
What do you do in Eau Claire?
I drive semi. I'm out here jamming gear.
Do you really? That's great. Over-the-road truck driver, Chad?
Not over the road. Not anymore. I'm home every night now.
Oh,
nice.
You're the kings of the road, Chad. Don't let anyone tell you any different, all right?
All right. Somebody's got to make the world go around.
That's right.
Amen.
Keep on trucking, and we'll keep an eye on tomorrow's game and see if you're a rich man by Saturday night.
All right. Sounds good. Have a good one, guys.
Thanks, dude. There goes Chad. There goes Chad. We got to get busting ass towards the main event here. By the way,
I hear the leaf blower.
Yeah, I have no words anymore. It's December 15th.
You better get him a gift for Christmas.
Definitely.
I don't want to get in any trouble. I want to say again, thanks to the Next Generation 10G network, only from Xfinity, for hosting Purple Pick'em. Yes, we hear the leaf blower guy in the background. We wouldn't want it any other way. Real quick before we get going again. Nice win for the Wolves last night in Dallas. That was great. And how about Naz Reid hitting the three-pointers? It was huge.
Yes.
Huge. Loved it. They are...
Took them a while to kind of get things rolling against them, but great fourth quarter last night, and they put them away.
They did. They're at home versus Indiana tomorrow.
Ooh, that'll be a good game. Tyrese Halliburton.
Oh, yeah.
Indiana's playing well.
Oh, yeah, they can play. They can play.
They were in the in-season tournament final, right?
Yep.
That's right. Semifinal. Right? Oh, no, they played.
They made the final, yeah.
Yeah, they're in the final.
The Pigs rallied from a goal down in the third period, beat Calgary.
There it is.
In one of those goofy shootouts. They play Vancouver tomorrow afternoon at the X. All right, bada bing, bada boom. You know what I'm talking about? Wapple, go ahead and let's get the dad fight going. Got to get the brawl started at one point or another. Welcome to our weekly trivia battle between the Ass Man, Randy Shaver, and the Lonely Boy, Brad Ryder. We're up to, I believe, the 151st edition of this rivalry. And we had options this week as far as what current big story we could play off of and use as the subject matter for today's trivia. The end of Bill Belichick's days in Boston are coming soon. We could have gone that way. Shohei Ohtani signing his big deal with the Dodgers. We could have gone there. Well, there's the obvious Super Bowl preview being played in Cincinnati tomorrow. We could have... but we've been having so much fun with this Tommy Cutlets dude. And now, after Depot said what he said a few minutes ago, that Tommy's wacky-ass agent, who looks like a villain from an Austin Powers movie, is also Depot's agent. Now, I'm even happier we're going this way, aren't you, Josh?
Yeah, that's awesome. And yeah, once again... brother and sisterhood, they know everything. That was cool.
Tommy DeVito, the new starting quarterback for the New York Giants, he's had a lot of success here lately. Everyone's talking about Tommy and his wacky agent. Italian Americans haven't been this excited since Tony Danza landed his own sitcom called Who's the Boss back in 1983.
That was a good sitcom.
Today we're going to quiz you, Mama Luke's, on some of football's greatest all-time Italian Americans. Some of football's greatest all-time Italian Americans. We're talking players, coaches. Could be at the college level. Could be at the professional level.
I love the music.
They're all Italian Americans who made a name for themselves through football. Now, I don't want either one of you to shout out any names because they might be involved in our contest here, but I can't help myself. from looking this up yesterday, I'm going to go ahead and name a few great Italian-American football players who are not involved in today's trivia because the names are so much fun and they're so friggin' Italian that I just have to throw them your way. So listen to some of these. Think of these names as honorable mention. And we got the Godfather music. It's perfect. Bruno Banducci, Angelo Bertelli, Jim Capuzzi, Joey Carollo over there. Joey Carollo, who is it, Joey? These are real Italian Americans who played football. Giovanni Carmazzi, Tommy Casanova, Anthony Costanzo, Lou Gambino, Cosmo Lacavisi, Sam Ritigliano. You guys probably remember Sam Ritigliano.
Oh, yeah. He was a coach.
He coached the Cleveland Browns. He's like, give me a break. I want to win a playoff game over here. I'm Sam Ritigliano. Phil Villapiani.
Oh, the linebacker.
And my favorite, Vic Zucco.
Vic Zucco.
Who's starting at linebacker? Oh, Zucco. So here we go. We'll dump some hints and information on these well-known Italian Americans who made a living through football, and you name them.
Oh, man.
Former or current or both?
Anything.
Okay. Like it makes a difference, I guess, but
they're Italian Americans who made a name for themselves through football. It's a head-to-head deal. As it always is on Dad Fights, head-to-head, you want to be the guy that answers first, shout it out. If you're correct, you'll hear the bell. We got something good for you. We got something good. If you're incorrect, this is what you're going to hear.
Forget about it.
Just forget about it.
I like that.
What's the matter with you? Good. Is there something wrong with you?
Forget about it.
What are you, some kind of sick maniac? You just shot Spider over there.
I'm going to get some wrong just on purpose.
Forget about it, he says. I think that's De Niro, isn't it, Wapple?
Mm-hmm. Forget about it.
You can steal an answer from your opponent if your opponent answers incorrectly. 10 challenges plus a tiebreaker if necessary. And the most correct answers win. Wins is how you say it. I did it again, Wapple. Guess what I did again?
Oh, did you lose it?
The friggin'...
Oh, my God.
Again, I forgot the name of the guy with the intro.
All right. Well, we got Heavy Haulin' Jesus over here.
This is Heavy Haul Jesus from the overtaxed and underwhacked city of Buffalo. Dad of 2 boys, an Army combat engineer turning 20 on Sunday, and a high school junior turning 17 on Saturday. So let's get the show on the road. Randy, the not-so-macho shaver, the only oversized load you've ever hauled was on your back. And riding shotgun, the Clara City train wreck. We're going to drop the hammer on that mud duck and go all axles down on this Dad Fights. 151. Let's roll. We gone.
Okay, Dad Fights Part 100 plus 51. Italian-American football greats. Listen, we got some information, and you name the sumbitch.
This Italian-American football player won 3 Super Bowls during his 13-year career with the New England Patriots. But don't let his soft and cuddly first name fool you. He was a bear of a linebacker, finishing his career with over
Teddy Bruschi?
Teddy Bruschi.
Oh, there you go.
1,000 tackles, 30 sacks. He's also an accomplished saxophonist. Even played with the Boston Pops.
What?
How about that?
Wow.
You wouldn't expect something like that.
Guy can play the saxophone.
Sure
That's such a cool instrument.
I already forgot who answered that correctly.
That was Brad.
Brad Ryder's up
over here.
Oh! All right, 1-0 Brad. ESPN once described the playing style of our next Italian-American as a violent, combative player known for his short temper. But he got results on the field, playing on the defensive line. He helped, that's not accurate. He played and lost in the Super Bowl in 1977 with the Denver Broncos, but helped the LA Raiders win it all in 1983. Italian-American ball player, short temper, Broncos, Raiders.
Gosh, don't know.
No.
What did the correct answer thing say?
Forget about it.
That's right. Lyle Alzado.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Lyle Alzado! Poor guy died young. brain cancer at only 43 years old. But he definitely packed a lot into those 43 years.
He did.
Yeah.
He was a terror.
He was a character.
And what I had forgotten about is that he, made some appearances in movies. He was in an Ernest movie. He was in Ernest Goes to Camp.
Classic.
I remember this short-lived sitcom he was in called Learning the Ropes, where I think he played a professional wrestler.
Yeah, who was also a school teacher.
Right. He even fought Muhammad Ali in an exhibition match.
I remember him on MacGyver.
MacGyver.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. It's right here in front of me. He was on MacGyver. You remember seeing him on there?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought he was great.
Terrific actor?
Yeah, of course.
Lyle Alzado was the correct answer. It's still 1-0 Brad.
This Giants tight end got the nickname
Mark Bavaro.
I got it.
That was Randy Shaver. He said Bavaro.
That's insane.
I love when that happens.
Bavaro. Yes, Mark Bavaro. During his NFL career and since his retirement, he's done work as a member of the Life Athletes Organization, which promotes abstinence by choice, Wapple.
Whoa.
By
you
choice.
Can do that?
Yeah.
That's what Bavaro's been doing since he retired, promoting abstinence?
He did during his career as well.
Oh, that's not right. Big, tall, tough, sumbitch tight end for the Giants. He was terrific. And I'm comfortable talking about this because I know he's not involved in the contest. Who was that other mustachioed? Phil McConkey.
Oh, for the Giants?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was going to say he looked very Italian, Phil McConkey. I don't know if he was. I don't know if he was at all. Okay, fair enough. Where are we score-wise?
1-1.
1-1. That's right. Randy Shaver got Mark Bavaro. Are you ready for a cupcake, boys?
Sure.
We couldn't have a dad fights about Italian-American football players without including this pair of brothers who are current players in the NFL. The older brother is a linebacker with the Chargers.
Joey Bosa.
The younger one plays defensive end for the 49ers.
Yep. Joey Bosa.
Why am I not hearing anything?
Joey Bosa.
Right.
I said it a long time ago.
I heard you say Joey Bosa.
Yeah,
I heard both of you say Joey Bosa multiple times.
Should we redo the question, or is it...
What?
I was asking
No,
about...
I got it a long time ago.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
I didn't. Neither one of us did then.
No, I mean,
Right.
the brothers. Neither one of you mentioned...
Joey and Nick.
Well...
Joey and Nick Bosa.
There we go.
Yes, thank you.
The next crying out loud.
The next person that says Joey Bosa or Nick Bosa is going to be punched in the mouth. Wapple, did you play something over there and we didn't hear it?
No, I didn't.
You never hit the...
Because we were still waiting for Nick Bosa.
Thank you. I got it.
But then if I said Joey, then you should have... No. Throw the question out.
No.
Oh, my God.
I got the answer, right, Wapple?
Yeah. Joey and Randy with the point.
Yeah.
So you never hit the incorrect sound because you were just waiting for someone to finally get on it.
Yes, to finally say the other brother.
Well, then
He's
I have
in charge.
Then I have to ring the bell.
That's fine. When you lose 4 in a row, you got to get every break you can.
Well, somebody's keeping track of the stats.
I thought I made myself clear when I said we couldn't have a dad fights about Italian-American football players without including this pair of brothers who are current players in the NFL. Right. Somehow you guys didn't pick up on that. But if Wapple didn't hit the incorrect button, and you're right, he is the final judge.
I mean, Brad was not wrong. He just didn't get the full question.
It just wasn't right.
Yes, that's right. Thank you. Correct. I feel we should move on.
Thank you.
This Italian fella is the all-time leading scorer for the Oilers/Titans franchise.
Dan Pastorini.
Forget about it.
And was the kicker at Super Bowl 34. A nail-biter which came down to the final play against Kurt Warner's Rams, where the Titans got stopped 1 yard short of the end zone as time expired, losing 16-23.
Oh, man. Rob Baronis? Is that who that is? No.
Good guess. Can you pot up your incorrect thing? I simply can't hear. Yeah.
There it is.
Now I know.
Go ahead.
Al Del Greco.
That's correct.
Yeah.
He's enjoyed a successful golf career after retiring from the NFL, according to the analysis. And he's a mainstay in celebrity tournaments and is the head coach at Samford University.
Really? Al Del Greco's a head football coach?
I guess so.
Wow. That's great. Yeah, that was a tough one.
That was a tough one.
I thought maybe someone would pounce on Al Del Greco. So does the score remain 2-1 Randy?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Today's Dad Fights topic, Italian-American football players. 2-1 Randy. Up next is a quarterback with movie star good looks who not only got his first career start in 1979 for the Los Angeles Rams.
Ferragamo.
But he ended up taking that club all the way to the Super Bowl. You are correct, Randy Shaver. Vince Ferragamo. He went on to play in the CFL for one season in 1981. Then he returned to the NFL to play for two teams that I'm sure made him feel like he was still in Canada, Buffalo and Green Bay. But you're right, Vince Ferragamo. Big, tall, handsome sumbitch. I loved the way he just looked cool in a football uniform, for those of you who remember Vince Ferragamo.
Yeah.
Boy, I bet playing in L.A. in the late 70s, he just could not fight his way out from under the blondes.
I'm sorry, he's not the Rams quarterback that I think of as the coolest, though.
The coolest would be who?
When I was growing up, it was Roman Gabriel.
Oh, sure.
That's just a cool sounding name.
Roman Gabriel.
And then you got Pat Hayden, but he was kind of a nerdier looking guy. But anyway, 3-1 Randy. 3-1 Randy.
He was a USC guy. We don't count him.
This former coach is not only a legend here in Minnesota, but nationally known for his unique approach to coaching. His players weren't allowed to call him coach. He outlawed tackling in practice and didn't even require his
John Gallardi.
Nice work, Brad Ryder.
He's on the board.
Very good.
There's a book about John and St. John's football called The Sweet Season. A sports writer rediscovers football, family, and a bit of faith at Minnesota St. John's University. He retired in 2012, finished his career at St. John's with 2 national titles, 27 division championships. He passed away in October of 2018 at the age of 91.
John Gallardi.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad we got to include that one in there.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm glad we got to include John Gallardi. 3-2, Randy, correct, Wapple?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, then. Here we go. Here's an NFL great that was born way back in 1941. An acute side note is that he actually played in the very first Little League World Series.
Huh.
He earned the nickname the Mad Bomber as the starting quarterback for the Oakland Raiders and won 3 AFL titles with that club in the late 60s.
LaMonica.
Oh, wow.
Daryl LaMonica.
Holy cow.
Randy is correct with Daryl LaMonica.
Before my time.
You don't remember Daryl LaMonica?
No,
Oh my
I
gosh.
don't. Not at all.
He was with the he and the kicker, the famous old kicker for the Raiders that played quarterback too. I can't think of his name.
George Blanda.
George Blanda.
Yeah.
Those two guys were teammates together.
Daryl LaMonica was a friggin' pimp. He played one season in the World Football League in 1974 before retiring. After football, I never saw this, he hosted a national fishing show.
Oh, wow.
I wish I would have seen Daryl LaMonica's national. Randy has a 4-2 lead. Finish him.
Oh, really? Okay, here we go.
4-2 lead.
This legendary coach's career started way back in
Vince Lombardi.
Forget about it.
Oh, shoot. Thought I'd take a
Nice
shot.
try, though. That's a good one. Yeah. Nice try.
At California's Del Mar High School. Humble beginnings for a guy who would lead UCLA to a Rose Bowl victory in 1975 and have successful NFL coaching stints with the Eagles and Chiefs.
Dick Vermeil.
Oh,
you win. Forget about it.
Something tells me Randy's going to be a dick about this.
That's right. I got my shot in earlier. It's been a hot minute since Randy's won.
His real name was Dick Vermilioni. No, I'm kidding.
Was it? Oh.
I'm kidding. Oh, man. The Italians over there.
That's good.
I want to know if you would have got the tiebreaker.
What's that?
Dana put this in there for me. I read the tiebreaker.
Okay.
Italian-American quarterback. One of the sexiest men alive.
Dan Marino?
Forget about it.
Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy G. Jimmy G.
Yeah, I hear you. Jimmy Garoppolo, the man of your friggin' dreams. Breaks my heart every time you fall all over that sumbitch.
Oh, really? You're not a
Breaks
fan?
my friggin' heart.
I want some game-worn undies. I don't know if he'd be willing to do that.
You guys did great. You did great.
Yeah, that was fun,
the
man.
Bosa question was a nightmare. I don't know how.
Yeah, well.
One of my dreams this weekend.
I don't know.
Hear people yelling Joey Bosa at us.
Nick Bosa's like, what the hell, man? I'm decent.
I came really close to a nervous breakdown, but we got through it. Hey, you boys have an unbelievably fun weekend. Everyone, do this and do that. Have a good time, and we'll talk to you on Monday, okay?
See ya.
Okay. Thank you, Brad and Randy. We'll be back in a few minutes on the program.
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Grace here, customer service rep at Standard Heating. I'm proud to work for a company that understands and takes care of our fellow Minnesotans. Our weather here can be a little unpredictable and even extreme. That's why we've been here for 93 years and counting, to keep our community safe and comfortable.
On behalf of myself and Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, we would like to wish you a very happy holidays. And don't forget, Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is open 24/7 for emergency services to make sure you stay warm this holiday season. Go to standardheating.com today.
Stacking Benjamins with Joe and his good friend OG not only has great financial insight, it's laid back with humor too.
Joe talks with Stacking Deeds co-host Crystal Hammond.
I've always been a fan of nosy neighbors. I want nosy neighbors. They can tell you what's going on 10 times faster than you would know.
Again, what's she talking about, Doug?
Really?
We're repairing neighborhoods, but then we're into nosy neighbors, and I built a career off of that.
Find out more by searching the Stacking Benjamins podcast, wherever you listen.
I'll tell you what the hell's going on, huh? Welcome back to the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. It's 8:34. It's our Friday. Suckers. Big weekend for holiday parties this weekend. Although it doesn't sound like any of us got any invites.
Oh, not a one. I mean, we're going to do a couple Christmas-related things at the house, but yeah, no parties.
We used to be cool. We used to be. Sorry, none of you's got any invites to any holiday parties. I'm also sorry if any of yous were getting your hopes up to get some action tonight. Because statistically speaking, nobody gets laid on December 15th.
I love that we have that kind of information at our disposal.
Isn't that great?
Statistically speaking, nobody gets laid today.
I just got to see if I can get my deposits back from all those sex workers I booked up for today.
Well, that would be different.
Okay.
And here's why that is. Here's why folks call today the most sexless day of the year. There are experts who follow this kind of thing. And I'm going to see if I can piece this together properly because it's kind of hard to understand. So these, like doctors, folks that hang out at the Red Door Clinic to help you out with this or that, right? Mm-hmm. They have the numbers to prove that on December 16th, they get almost zero phone calls like, what's that red bump on my thing? Can I get a, what do you call that, that post-game pill that girls might take?
Oh, Plan B.
Plan B pill?
Plan B.
Post-game.
They don't get any calls on the 16th. No one's rushing in with a growth on their this or a redness or a, and so after noticing this for years, they assume, well, nobody's having any sex on the 15th because on the 16th, doctors and clinics don't get any business. You following how they put that together?
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's what they say. The phones just go cold at the Red Door Clinic on December 16th. So their conclusion is no one's getting any on the 15th.
The doctors have a big party that day.
Yeah. Live it up a little bit. Things like requests for, this is a fancy word for, what did you say, Plan B?
Yep.
Requests for emergency contraception.
Contraceptives, but yeah.
Well, the word here says contraception.
Oh, really?
Say Calgary, Dana.
Calgary.
There you go.
I'm sure we're both somewhat correct, right, Ashley? Contraceptive, contraception. Folks coming in to get prescriptions. Sexually transmitted infection tests.
Ooh, baby.
None of this happens on December 16th.
That's so weird. What's the issue?
Well, and then they go on to talk about this phenomenon known as winter vagina.
They got a little too in detail for my taste, but yeah.
What is that?
Winter vagina.
I thought we'd had conversations on this program before about winter vagina and how you can catch it.
Yeah.
And how you can catch it.
I don't want to catch that.
No, you don't want to catch that. Yeah, we have, haven't we, Josh?
Yes, we've discussed
Summer
it.
penis, winter vagina. We've had these conversations.
TBI Epilepsy Jesus, he doesn't distinguish today from any other Friday as far as not getting any. It's just a regular Friday for him.
It isn't special.
You don't remember anything about winter vagina, Ashley?
I looked it up and got reminded what it was. And I remember talking about this.
You know, like Josh said, they got a little too detailed here.
That would suck.
But more or less, the winter, the cold weather, and the dry weather, it's not good.
It's like a desert.
It's not.
Oh my God.
That's an easy way to put it, right?
Sure, I understand. All the sand and whatnot you're referring to, and the scorpions
the
and things.
lizards, yeah.
Winter, the lizards. Winter is not kind to your average beaver.
That's why I stay inside so much.
Oh, really? Smart.
It's all very fascinating. Oh, and then you factor in the holiday stress.
That's what I thought for sure. 10 days before Christmas. Ooh.
Yeah, we're in the beast or the
we're in the red zone
right now.
We're in the red and green zone.
Well, be honest with me. Are any of you right now, or over the last few days since Thanksgiving ended, whenever, are any of you feeling holiday stress?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Really?
Not until like the last 2 days.
Every damn one of you?
Well, we're hosting, so we got to get that figured out. Got some last minute gifts to give, because we're racking our brains. Have we forgotten anybody?
Yeah. And then it's starting to get too late to order anything online, and that's nerve-wracking.
What else is stressing you out?
Just so many different Christmases that I have to go to.
Yeah.
I think I have 6.
Oh, that's right.
I've got 4 in a row starting next Friday.
We had this conversation already. I can't do it twice. I can't.
much.
Oh, yeah, that's why we were stressed.
I'm aware of that.
With the cold weather, pleasuring yourself with mittens, that can cause some problems. So many issues.
So you got the winter vagina kicks in, the holiday stress.
Can you imagine being turned down? It's like, well, I'm interested, but winter vagina.
Winter vagina.
I mean, fall vagina, that was pretty sweet. Everybody likes fall of it, but winter vagina, yeah, it's just not going to happen, pal.
Winter vagina and holiday stress dummies down your what's the word I'm looking for? Desire for sex.
No, put a Christmas tree in your bedroom. Didn't we find out last
I didn't think you were going to say in your bedroom.
last year or a couple of years ago, we found out that Christmas trees in bedrooms cause people to have more sex.
That does not ring a bell, but you could be right.
Yeah, something with the Christmas lights and makes it all romantic or something.
Set the mood.
Yeah.
Why not? Have you guys seen the Christmas eyebrow trend that's going around on the internet?
Tell me about the Christmas eyebrow trend.
So women are dyeing their eyebrows green and they're adorning them with tiny little ornaments and things.
Oh, I think we saw this last year too, didn't we? Jesus Christ.
They actually look pretty adorable. Wow, some of these women are very talented.
Talented in how they are able to design their eyebrows?
Yeah, I mean, that's got to take some type of artistic ability.
My wife should do that with her mustache. I bet it would look really festive.
Oh, my God.
Don't you think?
Oh, my God. So there you go. Shut down any plans to get some tonight.
Dr. P texted all of us and wanted to let us know that they do have a huge sex party on the 16th to celebrate.
The doctors do?
Yeah.
Oh, they have a sex party.
They have their own sex party because they're not dealing with any patients that day.
Text him back real quick. You just texted your phone?
Yeah.
Text him back real quick and just ask him if he's ever heard of this phenomenon on December 16th where there's no traffic at the Red Door Clinic. And because of that, they chalk up December 15th as a sexless day. Just ask him if he's ever heard of that.
Or maybe give him a call, Wapple.
Oh, yeah, we
could
get him on the telephone.
Yeah.
I didn't think that we still have a working telephone. We never use it anymore, do we?
Very infrequently. I mean, just with Brad and whatnot.
Yeah, call him up. Let's ask him about this. Dr. P. Jesus, our regular doctor who visits the program every couple of weeks. See if he's ever heard of this. Wouldn't that be something, though, if that was true? On the 16th, All those clinic doctors just get butt-ass naked and just ravage each other up and down. They got all the medication at the ready right there, John.
Yeah, they can clean things up right away. Papa Shot Jesus, he just sent a screenshot of a text he had with his girlfriend or wife here. Question, he said. I like when people start that way.
Sure.
Just heard on the radio, statistically speaking, no one gets laid on December 15th. Do you want to break that statistic? She said, sure, but what's the reasoning? That's such an odd date. And then he brings up holiday stress, I guess is what they said. Don't forget the text her back, winter vagina. Don't forget the winter vagina.
2 words, winter vagina.
We got Dr. P on?
Dr. P, hello. Welcome to the program. Dr. P. Jesus, James Parnell. What are you doing?
Hey, just heard you guys talking, and yeah, I have not heard of that phenomenon, and we don't really have a big sex party to celebrate it.
Okay. You hadn't heard that?
No, I haven't.
Have you heard of winter vagina?
I have not heard of that either. I feel like I've never had anyone come in and complain about that. I mean, I didn't hear that part. What is supposedly going on with that?
The dry weather that comes along with most winters and cold temperatures and things like that just don't treat that part of the body very well. I'd like to give you more details, but I would probably vomit.
Yeah, okay. The details are... they go into too much detail.
I think being an educated doctor, you probably can figure it out all by yourself.
Yeah. It seems like, it's one thing if you're walking around naked and exposed and everything, but it's hard to believe that just the drier air in your house would ruin everything. So I think people shouldn't worry too much about winter vagina.
That's the world I want to live in.
Celebrate however you want to.
Well, we appreciate your professional opinion. What are you on your way to pickleball practice?
No, I got to work today.
All right. Well, have fun. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, long-time listener, first-time caller. Is that what's going on here?
That's a really good... I should have said that. Oh, funny.
See you later, Dr. P.
Yeah, take care. Happy holidays.
You too. We got to take a break. We'll be right back. Before we get the hell out of here, and I truly mean get the living hell out of here in a few minutes. No screwing around. Oh, I might have to make a deuce, but we're going to get out of here. Before we leave, Cubby, we're going to knock out that Arthur's Jewelers deal where you win a prize and you qualify. You're entered to win a lab-grown Takori diamond from Arthur's Jewelers. We're going to get on that before we leave, and I just wanted to bring it up to give folks a heads up and also tell them what a hell of a prize we have this morning to qualify you for that Takori diamond. Mm-hmm. What a hell of a friggin' prize, right, Wapple?
Oh, it's great. I want it.
Be listening.
All right, we're not giving it out. I'm taking it.
You can't have it.
Oh.
Because I'm taking it.
Oh. Dude.
Cubby's got seniority. It's Cubby's.
Yeah, been here longer. Sorry.
Just a heads up on that. I'm really excited for someone to win the prize and then, of course, be entered to win that lab-grown Takori diamond from Arthur's Jewelers. Now, here's the deal. Before we get out of here, earlier we were lamenting the fact that, once again, we ain't getting Jack Robinson for a Christmas bonus round these parts. Not a damn... The truth is, it's no big deal. Nobody needs to give me a cookie for doing my job. There's too many people, if you don't mind me flipping out here for a second, there's too many people these days that expect the world to fall down and fillet them for doing the things that are expected of them.
I do love that Chris Rock bit. People wanting credit for things they're supposed to do.
A lot of folks
you showed up on time today.
Supposed to show up on time. I'm awful tired of that song and dance. But we were having the conversation about Christmas bonuses earlier. And a few of our listeners are or have received Christmas bonuses. And we asked them to text them into the program if they had a minute or two. Just for fun. Here are some of the text messages, some of the Christmas bonuses people have received. Some are good, some not so good. I mean, this one just, my God, who do you work for? Puff Daddy, Muffin Slayer Jesus. He said his workplace took everybody to Mexico.
Whoa.
That's awesome.
For a Christmas, but that was, he said, before he started working for them.
Oh. Of course.
Kick to the nuts.
Take
Do you
everybody
think it's real or like a coworker's busting his balls? You should have been here last year, bro.
I didn't think about that.
Mexico.
Muffin Slayer Jesus has always come off like kind of a gullible bastard. Maybe they're lying to him. But think about that. I mean, not that I want to go anywhere with most of my coworkers, but they were nice enough to say, hey, you want to get on a plane and go to Mexico? It's on us, kind of a thing.
Smoke your mom's pot. Jesus said his boss gave him a car for a Christmas bonus.
Bruh. Whoa.
A damn car? A working automobile?
That's what he said.
Kickstand Jesus texted in. What do you think of this? He says, I used to work for an outfit. I love that. I love when folks refer to their company or their place of business as an outfit. I used to work for an outfit that sent a card. They would send us a card letting us know they donated our tiny bonuses to a charity in our names. I mean, you feel good about that.
The Human Fund.
Yes, from Seinfeld.
But you probably wanted the option, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, can we split it? Half goes to charity, half goes to me.
Fun Size Jesus said they got a company-branded ice scraper. Living large over here. Look out, world, she says.
It's practical.
We mentioned, back in the day when we get bonuses around here, that's what they'd be, And some of the stuff was nice. I mean, truthfully, we got some company-branded items.
Yeah. Some of it was real nice.
Yeah.
Josh, did you ever consider lining sewers for a living?
No, but one of my best friends in the whole world does that.
Line sewers.
He sure does.
I think you'll consider it after finding out from Sewer Lining Jesus that last year's Christmas bonus, he got a $500 Mills Fleet Farm gift card.
Dude, that would be sweet.
That is really cool.
That's super cool because you can use that for gas, too.
That's one of Josh's favorite places in the whole world is Mills Fleet Farm.
I would never use that for gas, Ashley. You can get gas anywhere. Mills Fleet Farm is a treasure. You got to buy something. And I'm sitting on a gift card it's not $500, but I got a Mills Fleet Farm gift card in my wallet right this second.
I just don't know how you'd get up and down the aisles with that erection if you got a $500 gift card to Mills.
How's that man pushing the cart with no hands?
Big D Trucker Jesus. He's not so happy because a few years ago, he got assorted blocks of cheese as his Christmas bonus.
I'd be pretty pumped about the cheese.
You sure would.
They were all expired.
Oh, dang.
No.
There goes the pumped feeling, right, Ashley?
Yeah, that's rude.
A utility lineman texted, and he says, every year for a Christmas bonus, they get half a pig's ass.
I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah,
That'd be cool, as long as you had somewhere to store it.
Got a big old ham, half a pig's ass. $100 grocery store gift card doesn't sound bad.
Yeah, that sounds
I'd be
great.
all about a grocery store gift card. That'd be sweet.
Here's someone that said they work for a distillery. They gave out a box of different bottles of alcohol worth $2,000.
Oh.
Yeah, let me guess. The stuff that wasn't selling? Right? Okay. We were kind of just discussing that we would get company-branded stuff. I don't know if is this the same thing? Here's a listener who says, I get coupons from our company for the products that we manufacture. I don't know. Depends on where you're working.
Yeah.
What are you manufacturing? I mean, but maybe it doesn't matter.
Because you're still buying it.
Yeah, you're still buying it, and no matter what the product is, I bet you get tired of it if you're working with it every damn day.
FXT Jesus said they got $1,000 for a bonus the last few years. Said first job he's ever gotten a Christmas bonus at, and so grateful. That's awesome.
Yeah, I know someone that got like a $5,000 bonus last year because their company did so good, and I was like, I can't even fathom that.
Holy cow!
Lick me down. $5,000.
Oh, this person says they got, for their Christmas bonus, they got 2 paychecks worth direct deposited.
Oh, that would be amazing. Oh,
Wapple, what would you do with that $500?
Yeah, you're not joking.
One more here on my end. Listeners texting in their Christmas bonuses, holiday bonuses, however you like to say it. This sounds very nice. Especially because I get so cold. You know how cold I get, Josh.
You do.
I get cold.
You and my wife.
At the house, here in this stupid building, I'm always cold. This listener says we get pies for Thanksgiving. Ooh, I like pie. And then for Christmas, every year we get a fluffy throw blanket.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Yeah,
you never have too many blankets.
No, pile them up on me. I like waking up in the middle of the night and my body temperature has just peaked.
Yes.
Hate it.
That's a great feeling. You just know I could not possibly be any warmer right now. If I was any warmer, I would be hospitalized. Bury me in throw blankets. Absolutely.
My wife and I, we have different blankets. Mine is essentially thinner than a sheet.
Nice.
And hers is crazy thick. That thing, I can just feel the heat coming right off that thing.
No thanks.
2 o'clock this morning, I woke up just pouring sweat.
Oh, and you like that?
Yes, because I knew I had myself. You know what I'm saying. Where are we going to go next? We're out of here, I think. This is about all we got.
This texter says they got a toenail clipper one year.
Jesus.
I'd wonder, like,
just don't even give me anything.
what are they saying to me?
God.
I don't know what they're saying to me. Like any grooming device, I'd wonder. Oh, no.
Toenail clipper.
They think I'm the vampire nail guy or something.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Shout out to the creator of the Little Bean Jesus from Hey Girl, Jesus. Happy birthday to my boss's son is a douchebag, Jesus. And happy 16th birthday to Jackson from Mom, always late, but worth the wait, Jesus.
The 93X half-ass morning show. 93.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
On behalf of myself and Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, we would like to wish you a very happy holidays. And don't forget, Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is open 24/7 for emergency services to make sure you stay warm this holiday season. Go to standardheating.com today.